Currently 12 degrees here at the G, and it's been some wild and woolly weather throughout the week, but we're in for a good day today, Denny.
Certainly are, Matthew. And Hawthorn need to make a statement today. They don't want to play Sydney Swans in the finals coming off in 7 straight defeats. So they need to make a statement and get the game on their terms today. Play some quick counter-attack football.
Who wins and why?
Well, I was just about to say, recent record says Swans 6 blot over the Hawks. For some reason, I'm going to go with them. Spud, you'll be on the Hawks, I'm sure.
Look, I'm going to go for the Hawks purely because of the Franklin and Rufford factor.
Gillen with the job on goods. Sydney have been a very good starting side in 2008. They've won 10 of their first quarters so far this year. We're underway. Jolly and Campbell, but it's off the ground. Hawthorn going ahead first. Rioli paddling it forward. Franklin into the game early. Roberts-Thompson too low. Yeah. He's been legged and Franklin will have a shot on goal. Perfect start for the Hawks.
Yeah, tackle just slipped down off the hips from Lewis Roberts-Thompson. He's just checking out the scoreboard, but he slipped down and grabbed the big forward, Lance Franklin, around the ankles. Just have a look at the replay here. The tackle was started high enough, but he's probably a little bit stiff. Didn't go below the knees.
I think the umpire's made a little bit of a blue there.
So you don't want to make a blue at this stage of the game. Get the ball in Lance Franklin's hands. If he gets confident, we know he can do anything.
Only really one good game against the Swans.
Oh.
And that's a shank. It's a shocker.
Lindsay Wood put the moz on him. Before the game, he was kicking goals like that like shelling peas.
Yeah, but he was kicking them off one step. He took about 4 or 5 then. Too much preparation. But, and also a little bit disappointing, there was an easy chest mark on the goal line for the Sydney Swans. Hawthorn would be disappointed.
Could that be a little bit of nerves about how important this game is?
Well, I think there's no doubt. I mean, the facts are that the Swans have dominated the Hawthorn Football Club of late. Have a look at that. That's disappointing, about to take a mark there. 6 lovers and a turnover in the middle of the ground.
Well, Hawthorn a chance to atone. Williams gets the short pass from Rioli. And make no mistake, Mark Williams won't miss this, and they'll get the first goal of the game.
They certainly will. And Cyril Rioli, he just swooped on that. That was a magnificent bit of play there from Rioli. And then just didn't go back and have a shot on goal. Quickly assessed the situation. Look, turned, had a look, and put the ball to Mark Williams.
Good play. Turnovers are so important at this level of football.
21 for the season. Makes it 2 little ducks. And the Hawks get the opening goal.
Good start for the Hawthorn forwards. They've had 2 shots on goal and have dominated possession. Just very, very bad turnover at that part of the ground. I mean, it's risky going back in the corridor, but the main thing is the Hawks forwards have got their tails up. Williams has got a score on the board. 22 for the year. Centre clearance is important. This one for the Sydney Swans.
He's played 4 games against the Swans and he's only managed 5 goals, Williams, so he'd be happy to get that start as Paul Roos looks on, and they really haven't looked like taking the ball forward as yet. But it's early days, but the opening blood to Hawthorn. At the centre, Hodge with some strength, but he just caught a little bit high in the tackle. Slipped over the shoulder.
Chase Franklin.
Good pressure again from Hawthorn, trying to force the turnover. Kirk ran forward, hard running from the skipper, and he's got it just outside 50.
Looking forward to this matchup, Brett Kirk and Sam Mitchell, the 2 skippers.
Into the pocket, strong mark from Jared Moore, not known for his overhead skills.
Oh, that's an outstanding mark. He gave away a number of inches. He looked like he'd run under the ball. For a stocky, little, powerful player, that's a great vertical leap.
And Birchall's about 6'2", 189, and that's just a magnificent mark there. We just see Birchall just could have used his body a little bit more aggressively there.
So Moore to even things up. It's hooking, and it hooked too far, hits the post. A let off for the Hawks.
It certainly is. You can't afford to miss chances like that playing interstate.
So Hawthorn to bring it in. And they go short. They'll work it out. Eventually, up to Mitchell. Got it from Guerra. Mitchell to the outer side. Franklin the target. Roberts-Thompson in front of him. Crumbing in the right spot. Kirk has a runner at McVeigh. Has an area. It's a brain fade from McVeigh. Franklin involved again. Hands off to Williams, so the forwards for Hawthorn up the ground and working hard. Osborne on the end of that pass. Morton wants it long into the pocket. He heads in that direction and finds him. And the Rising Star nominee will take a shot at goal.
This is great coaching from Alistair Clarkson. Just been watching Kennelly. They keep swapping Osborne and Morton walked him back to the goal square, and they're trying to make Kennelly play as a key defender.
You can go a step to your right.
Jared Morton was nominated in round 13.
You'd think he'd pass it inboard here. He should have a player.
He hasn't kicked a goal in AFL football yet. Alistair, is this his first? No, it's no score whatsoever. The woodwork getting a pounding at both ends.
Well, I said he had a player to his left. The only player to the left was probably a retired bloke in the grandstand. To his right, I meant. But, yeah, a few errant shots on goal at the start of this game.
Barry to take the kick, and away he goes for Sydney. His target, Richards. You heard the umpire's call. Clinton Young penalised for not looking at the footy and wrapping him up.
Work out why that wasn't paid advantage. He's running an open play there.
We could have that conversation all day.
Yeah, we can.
Massive plays in just 1/3 of the ground through the centre of the MCG.
Another big match-up here. Luke Ablett on Luke Hodge.
That's a good point, Alistair. There's only 2 players inside either of the 50s. O'Loughlin, he's the man up forward. But Playfair's got it and should give it. He does now. Moore slipped it over to O'Keefe, dribbles it forward looking for O'Loughlin. And will the boundary beat Sydney? Yes, it does, with Brent Guerin making sure of it.
Good mark from Playfair, but if he had him handballed instinctively, far away, Sydney, he just held the ball up for a split second, then give the hands.
The boundary throw-in all important. Jolly down in front. First there, Ladson. Clearing kick. Sydney have numbers though. Buchanan gets back first. Gives it to Kirk. Kirk, well, that is going to be very tight. In fact, that's out of bounds on the full.
Well, here we've got Matner now playing full back, so there's no doubt Alistair Clarkson is looking at Matner and Kennelly and making those plays play deep in Hawthorn's forward 50.
They're just trying to do the rotation now as we speak. Kennelly's having to run back with Morton.
Franklin playing up the ground, so that's part of that role to get the running defenders of Sydney back. Here's Birchall. Can't quite take it. Roughhead comes in to lend a physical presence. So too Crawford. And he's got talent both on and off the field, Crawford. He can act, but that's not going to get him anywhere.
And that's an interesting tactic, having Kennelly and Matner deep. It means that Franklin does have to come up the ground, so Paul Roos may be happy with Franklin taking a lot of marks around the centre wing.
High tackle. It'll come back to Ladson, who won the clearance anyway. So Ladson the kick from 70 metres from goal. Hawthorn lead by 5 points.
Just see, not a lot in that. Shane's just grabbed the chin to try to milk one. Once again, plenty of players in the defensive half for the Swans.
Ladson thinks he can find Franklin. No chance in that congestion. Playfair comes back to help out.
Well, Playfair's playing in the half-forward line, so he's pushed down and really helped the Sydney Swans defence, Lynchy.
Yeah.
And no doubt Paul Roos was disappointed with the amount of marks taken inside their defensive 50 last week against Collingwood.
Now, this is the modern game. You don't have spectators where we used to play at the extremities of the ground. Now you just don't base yourself there. You've got to move right up and right back, and there's no spectating.
When you play full forward, you didn't go that far on your holidays.
Well, actually, I think the Brisbane Lions first, they made me push up to the centre circle. I was devastated.
Hoods' kick, too much power on it. That's what a weekend off does for you. Just kicked it out on the full.
Both teams, Swans and Hawthorn, are very good at this. They switch the ball wide across the back half and look to run out.
Gillam got it from Osborne and turned to Ellis. Ellis measures the kick. Roberts Thompson decides to punch from the front. Franklin decides to pick it up. Trying to get past a couple. Did he take too long? Yes.
Yeah, just a little long.
And a perfect tackle. Had hold of the arm. He couldn't handball it, and they were pulling him around, so there's a very good tackle there.
Was that the chicken wing tackle in the rugby league?
It certainly is.
Oh, there was a chicken wing there.
Big chicken wing. More a turkey wing.
Into the turnbuckle.
Kennelly, he's got the ball in his hand. Now, they have to use Kennelly on the way out. They've got to, when he gets in the space, they've got to give him the ball so he can put pressure on his direct opponent that's trying to drag him back to the goal square.
Jack's kick, almost to the advantage of Buchanan. Now he gets it. He was looking over the top for O'Keefe. Going back Brown.
It's going to be a fantastic matchup. Also, Ryan O'Keefe and Brent Guerra. Brent Guerra better have his running shoes on.
I was going to say, has Guerra got the motor to run with O'Keefe? We know he's plays predominantly in the forward half, but he just runs so hard all day.
I'll let you know at three-quarter time.
Sewell got in close and just slipped it to Ladson. He in turn switches wider out in front of Osborne. Bevan pressuring him. Osborne, in the end, I think he was pretty happy to get it over the line.
There's Guerra, who's bent over already.
Well, will Guerra just let him go if he gets further up the ground and wait for him to come back?
There might have been even a change at the moment.
Yeah. The whistle.
High contact. Oh, 50-metre penalty.
So, great to see Simon Taylor back. He's been out for 4 weeks with a nasty gash to the knee.
Underrated player, Taylor.
Not sure what that the 50 was from. There's the free kick. Everett had the arm over the right shoulder.
There it is. McVeigh.
Oh, McVeigh across the mark. Oh, another 50.
Well, it's a soda for Taylor, and the Swans in disarray.
Well, that's extremely disappointed, and who's that on the other side?
Kieran Jack. That hurts. A right contest around the half-forward line. The first 50, McVeigh was really conscious of Sewell, but the umpire was telling Kieran Jack to get out of the play. We just see on the left of screen, see him with his hands. The umpire is saying, no, you're too close.
He's not too close.
Where is he? That's ridiculous. I mean, if that is the decision, surely that couldn't be the decision. He was standing, at least 4 or 5 metres off the mark, but 2 50-metre penalties on the back of a free kick.
Taylor back in the ruck, kicks the goal.
Well, that was a stoppage on the half-back flank for the Hawthorn team. There was a ruck contest free kick, then 2 50-metre penalties. Give me a goal. That's devastating for the Swans.
First one was definite. Still can't work out the second one. That's academic now. Saul spinning.
He's almost done 3 laps there.
He's done 900 degrees, 2.5 laps.
Another big in also for Hawthorn. Brad Sewell standing the mark there.
Goods. Well, that kick, low percentage. Numbers for the Hawks. Morton on hands and knees. Back to Sewell again.
Well, they got numbers forward the ball. Williams is in space.
And he gets it from Hodge.
And then Roughhead.
Roughhead's out wide. Will he spot him? He doesn't. He's going straight up the ground. He wants Franklin. There's a holding.
Oh, against Franklin. That's a win for Lewis Thompson. I was a bit unsure whether this is the right matchup with LRT going with Lance Franklin, but that's a win.
Well,
gee, a bit each way, wasn't it?
It's a bit each way, but the umpire could see Lance Franklin's right arm around, so he's made the correct decision in the end.
Umpire was on that side, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Gee, the kicking from Sydney at the moment, very risky.
Well, that's the man I would have thought would go Lance Franklin. Another 50-metre penalty, and that is the 3rd for the day. Craig Bolton, he normally gets the big jobs. He's got the Williams matchup in the early part of this game. With the running capabilities maybe of Lance Franklin, they'll rotate both Bolton and Roberts Thompson through that position. Well,
both teams now have to readjust to the umpires. They're going to play the 50s. They're going to be consistent. You have to play to the rules now. 9
free kicks already. Again, Sydney's kicking leaves a lot to be desired. They're trying to find players in space that isn't there, holding the ball, another free kick. This time it's Matner.
Yeah, Hodge took on the tackler, had prior opportunity, it was red hot the umpire, but as you said, Spud, they're right onto these free kicks early in the game.
2 players in the pocket, Buchanan's in front and he gets it with the juggle.
That's disappointing there from the Hawks. It was a contested situation. We had Young and Birchall involved in that contest. Again, not a player known for his high marking, Buchanan, but that goes down as a contested mark.
Well, that is a contested grab. We just see there the Hodge free kick for taking on the tackler, incorrect disposal. But Buchanan, Hawthorn defenders will be devastated with a contested mark in that situation.
Jared Moore missed an easy one. Buchanan might do likewise on the other side.
That hurts.
Sydney's skill level at the moment is letting them down.
The score should be level.
Yep.
2 sodas that missed Sydney. See Adam Goods there having a breather on the boundary line.
The Sydney Swans have set up a very deep zone. The Hawthorn team can go short into the pockets all day long. Swans are happy to concede that. They just don't want to get the next one deep over the zone, about 80 metres out from goal.
Coming in Murphy, crowd wanting another 50, he's not going to get it.
And the Swans drop the zone now and go to the one-on-one matchup, so they have to adjust quickly.
They get numbers back here. Everett in front of Taylor. And the big man does well on hands and knees. Ablett, a little bit untidy. Wider to Bird. Measures the pass inside, looking for Playfair. Hawthorn should clean up. Murphy. Back to Gillum. In turn, Crow. Wider. Rioli in some space.
You'll have to corral him here, Brett Kirk.
He run around if you go too hard at him.
That's a good grab.
Good hands. Sticky hands.
And again, found the target.
There's been some impressive marking overhead already in this game.
Williams just a little bit low for Mitchell, sliding in, couldn't take it. Hard attack on the footy, it spills out the back. Everett. Matner, chain of handballs, Kirk involved. Again, more handball, Bevan from Ablett. They continue to run now. Mickey O too slow. They're all running in the same direction. He decided to change the other way.
The tackling's been outstanding from both teams. They've both come to play here today. We're going to see some terrific contests and, more importantly, some great defensive pressure. Just have a look at Lachlan assessing the situation, and Young tackles the hips. Perfect tackle.
Hawthorn load up now through Birchall, but again, Everett standing in the way.
Dub kick. You've got Everett loose behind the play. You need to widen your vision there. When you see big Peter Everett, need movement and kick the ball away from the high ball from Everett.
Well, the Hawthorn midfield are very used to being able to go, confident to go long to Franklin and Roughhead, but Everett's going to camp himself there all day long, you'd think.
LRT, Lewis Roberts-Thompson to McVeigh. He wants to switch back to Kirk. He's told the play on. And he chips up in the middle to Jack.
Well, that was good. They were able to get in through the corridor. It just gives them a chance to use both sides of the forward 50 if they can take possession here.
Sloppy footy again, Sydney.
Good play, Murphy.
And Hawthorn should make them pay here. Tuck.
Rioli's in space if they can find him.
Franklin listens to you. Alistair finds him. Decides to play on. Still Rioli to 30 metres with pace. Misses.
Oh, skill level's just been a fraction off. It is the pressure of third versus fourth, knowing that that top four spot is really up for grabs to cement yourself up there.
Jared McVeigh's hamstrings would be about an inch longer now after chasing Cyril Rioli.
Well, there was no elastic band between the two of them because it snapped. Rioli just took off, put yards on McVeigh.
Posters at both ends. Finals-like atmosphere at the MCG. Bolton takes the kick in and chips it in back to Barry.
When the opposition kick a point against Hawthorn, it gives Hawthorn the best chance to set up their zone.
Inside 50s, 10-6 at the moment.
And as we saw at the other end, Sydney were happy to drop the zone where Hawthorn maintain it.
Buchanan
and
wants
this is
to
where
run
it can be dangerous if you haven't gone man-on-man by now.
Jolly push forward.
Got Jolly.
Well, that was great running from Jolly. I just watched out the corner of my eye, Jolly, and you need to give yourself an option there.
Big Darren Jolly's just shaking off the option forward, and was it Ryan O'Keefe that might have been was calling for the ball, but that was good work. As we know, Hawthorn have a very big zone. They incorporate the whole side into their zone, and they prepared to just run back with the ball. But if you can work hard to get on the outside of their zone, players like Jolly can pop up into space.
They've missed 2 set shots, this one from further out, and they've missed 3 in a row.
And our time down on the ground before the game, Spud, it wasn't windy, was it? I mean, it's pretty good conditions. The problem could be, outside the pressure of a big game, it's a little bit slippery on the surface, and when you're just setting yourself for that last step before you take your kick, you may be slipping.
I think you're being very generous there.
Yeah, a bit generous, but certainly on this wing, you can slip when you're trying to kick, but no, it's certainly kickable goals.
Boundary throw-in, 45 metres around from Sydney's goal. They trail by 10 points. Hawks in control on the board. 7 minutes remaining. Sydney in control from the clearance. Adam Goods tries for something miraculous and kicks it. The Brownlow medalist with a bit of class.
Well, the handball from Mickey O'Loughlin somehow fouled Adam Goods. Then he's tried something that you only practice Tuesday nights at train. Just have a look at the ruck work here. It was Hawthorn ruckman got out, but Mickey O'Loughlin, quick hands under enormous pressure, has found Adam Goods, and that's a very good goal. The goal umpire spent plenty of time talking to the boundary umpire to see whether it was a goal, but that is a team lifter.
Outstanding goal by Adam Goods.
Also the work off the ball. Brad Sewell was on Goods and his teammates blocked Sewell's run. That is a great team goal there from Sydney.
Just what they needed, given the fact they'd missed 3 set shots, and they're trying to move it forward here again. Jolly, a searching handball towards Bolton. He slipped it to Kirk. Back to Ablett. He just throws it on the boot. O'Loughlin.
In the back.
Pushed in the back.
Oh, free kick. Mickey O'Loughlin.
They've been a little bit lax, the umpires, with the hands in the back. But there's no doubt that one was there. The initial contact, I thought, was a good bit of play, but I just saw Trent Crode's hands in the small of O'Loughlin's back.
Just have a look at the free kick here.
Thanks, that's it.
Yeah, Crode had a piece of the jumper and a hand in.
It was actually on the way down, wasn't the initial marking contest?
So O'Loughlin, amazingly, to put Sydney in front. In the blink of an eye, the Swans to take the lead. He kicks it.
The scores are about right, Lynchy. Inside 50s, 8 to Sydney, 6 to Hawthorn. Hawthorn have had that 250 metres free kicks.
10-8, 10-8 Hawthorn, that's the rebounds.
Okay, sorry,
Yep.
I'm wrong there. So that, to me, I reckon the score's about right.
Disposals are in favour of the Sydney Swans, 63 to 48. And very good form from the Swans just over the last couple of minutes.
Thanks, guys. Robbie, lead in.
Hawthorn lead wiped out very quickly. Goals to their superstars in Goods and O'Loughlin.
Well, a little bit of a worry there. See Alistair Clark's in the coaching box there. Their key players getting on the scoreboard.
Back in the middle, Mitchell wins it. Slipped it over to Campbell, throws it on the boot. Roberts-Thompson beaten to it by Ladson. Good work. Mitchell's handball a little bit messy, missed roughhead. Jolly came in. Ladson just got a hand on it, and it enabled Hawthorn to keep possession. Campbell searching out, looking for Franklin with a palm off. Just got rid of Bird. Kicks it into the pocket. Williams, his target. Couldn't quite make it. Ladson, clever
Good
handball.
recovery from Williams.
Great recovery from Williams. Around the corner. Can he get the goal? No, he can't. But Ladson was involved 2 or 3 times. No possessions, but hard work.
New role for Ladson. They moved into the midfield, had 6 disposals already.
Oh, we've got an injury for the Sydney Swans. Is it McVeigh or Kennelly? Left shoulder in enormous stride.
Kennelly.
Coming to the bench, Ty Kennelly. And that is a massive concern. He was involved in that marking contest and must have just got the arm pulled back. So watch that one closely.
That is big news for Sydney. They've had a look, and
He's starting to run.
He's risen. He's risen. He's
Is that the
fine.
stinger?
It must have been the stinger. Just see the tackle there.
gee, isn't the Pope at Randwick next week?
He's fine. He's fine. He's back.
Have they got some holy water, those Sydney trainers?
He's had the magic spray and he's fine. No, he's coming off now. He's coming off now, so he'll get that looked at. Back with the action, though. And Buchanan gets a beautiful pass from Ted Richards.
He's a worry at the moment, Buchanan. He's forcing Guerra, who started on O'Keefe, to play as a defender there and isolated him. So that's a little bit of a win for Paul Roos at the moment. We just see the Kennelly shoulder again.
He's pulled it back in. It's popped out, and that's the physio.
you
See it just
sub-ups.
dropped back into place, and he's away. So there was a fair bit of pain there. The
he's
tough
tough.
Irishman.
Buchanan, though, he needs to redeem himself. His set shot last time wasn't good. And neither's that one, so that's 2 behinds from Buchanan.
Well, I know how painful it is just to have a finger put back into joint. I don't know about that one. That'd be pretty nasty.
You're absolutely right, boys. He's actually just told the doc it popped out and it's popped back in. So spot on the Kennelly call.
We'll have a look at that at half-time, how that just did pop back into place.
You saw there Brett Kirk, 5 disposals in the last 5 minutes, 9 for the game. Brett Kirk.
Beautiful pass by Gillam to Murphy. Now, Bevan went without it. Interesting choice by Osmond to just go off the ground towards Roughhead Franklin to
There's the
clean up.
pickup.
Oh, look at Buddy. He is as good as it gets.
That's a magnificent goal. It's a terrific play from Osborne, I think, who just kicked the ball forward because he sensed there was space. And when there's space to run into with a guy like Franklin, Roughhead contested the ball. Just see Franklin running in there, Roughhead front and square. Have a look at the pickup for a guy 6'5", and then turning on one leg. You're right, Matthew. It does not get much better than that from the key forward. You expect him to take the contested marks. He's an extremely hard matchup.
Goal number 67 for Buddy Franklin. Arguably, there's never been a man in the game that can play at ground level at that height.
Well, the first few years he was in the competition, it was basically a half-forward flanker crumbing forward. He didn't have the ability to mark overhead, but certainly he's added that to his game. But that's almost bread and butter for Lance Franklin.
Hawks back in front, 4 minutes remaining in what has been a very entertaining, at times messy first quarter.
There's Ty Kennelly there. Hopefully he comes back on the ground.
Big punch away from the contest. Ablett first to it. Sewell right on him. Big bear hug and he wraps him up. We'll have a ball up. Luke Hodge barking instructions.
It was good play from Sewell. Sewell's playing on goods, but come off goods to tackle Ablett. That's why Hodge patted him on the back.
Taylor again winning it, but not to the advantage. Now Roughhead standing in the way of that Ablett kick. He just belts it into the pocket. Franklin out positioned. Morton was there. Loose ball. Rioli got to beat 2 or 3. Can't. Smith on the ground now, the late inclusion for Sydney. And we'll have a ball up right in the corner.
Great forward pressure there from Rioli. Nearly got the ground level ball. Sydney then grabbed the ball and then he just swooped on the tackle. That's a win for Hawthorn.
Yeah, he was outnumbered 3-1. So to get a stoppage there, get a second chance to get a shot on goal. Very important for the Hawks forwards.
Everett laying it down, looking for Bolton. Roughhead off the ground, the key forwards. Doing it at ground level for Hawthorn. It's a bit of a pinball here. It spins around. It ends up back with Barry. Didn't really want it. Hawthorn, good pressure in their forward 50. Ellis pumped out of it. No free kick from Jack. O'Loughlin. Cool under pressure. Bolton driving it long. Play fair. Almost took the grab. Might stay in for him though. O'Loughlin wants it. He gets it. O'Keefe or Buchanan. Buchanan's got it.
Oh,
he's in trouble.
Chase.
Outstanding tackle from Campbell Brown.
Yeah, such a competitor, Campbell Brown. And Buchanan just didn't have that awareness that he was hot.
It was like a dog after a bone there, Campbell Brown.
Oh, look, you talk about goals of the year and things like that. See that on replay 4 or 5 times. That is brilliant stuff from Brown. And it could end up with a goal at the other end if Everett doesn't pick it up.
Oh, can't get a handle on it.
It's a long way down for the big fella.
And Osborne trying to make him pay, hooks it too far.
Well, we got away with that one. Big spide. Jared Roughhead just suggested you're getting a little bit stiff in the back on the way past. Give him a bit of a work over. That's great chase and tackle from Campbell Brown. Just a little bit of work over the top when he went to get the ball as well.
No, he's fantastic, isn't he?
Great competitor. You'd love him in any side.
His opposite number with the footy now. Roberts Thompson.
I think Peter Everett was just showing his age there at ground level.
Well,
long way to bend down for the big fella.
He's a big man.
Big Taylor will mark this. Oh.
Now, the whistle on the play, hands in the back, and the free kick against O'Keefe will go to Birchall.
He was caught behind, just trying to push Birchall under the ball. He was trying to use his forearms, but we'll just see here his hand on the back, and that is free kick.
They're playing consistent today, the umpires.
Oh, they're right onto it too. They have to be consistent over the course of the game. That's a man in front.
It's pretty ordinary from Big Taylor. He would have loved to have had a stoppage there, Hawthorn. Still in a dangerous area. He didn't do the team thing, and now Sydney have got the ball.
Good courage too from Bolton to just back into Taylor, knowing contact was coming. Hawks by 5 points. Big leap from Guerra. Underneath all of that is Gillum. And he gets up and we'll have a ball up, centre wing.
Clearances, Hawthorn 7, Sydney 5, so it's a win for Hawthorn.
And they're going to win this one. Taylor gets it from Hodge. She gave it to Tuck when he probably didn't really want it. He might get a free kick to Hodge. Too high.
Yeah, put his head over the ball. Hodge just copped one high from Ablett.
He did it well, Hodge.
Been quiet for such a damaging player, just his 3rd disposal. Rough hit his target.
Yeah, holding the arm, was it? Oh, I might have missed. I might have seen something different. I thought I saw Leo Barry had hold of Jared Roughhead's left arm. Just see the high contact on Hodge.
A lot of smart play.
Deserved the free kick. Just see here.
He said he held him.
Held the left arm, Jared Roughhead, in the contest. How would you go, Spud, these days?
Ooh, be very frustrated.
I reckon.
So we've seen Franklin get on the board. Roughhead, not yet.
I think you're still allowed to grapple, but was there a hold? Not quite sure.
It appeared that Jared Roughhead was holding his ground very well.
There's the free
and showing
kick there.
strength.
Chicken wing.
That was a free kick. So he was dominating the position of his opponent. And in the end, Leo Barry had no option other than try to pull the arm to gain some ascendancy.
Thanks, fellas. Watch the arm.
Whoops.
In trouble here.
Not 15. Barry.
And he's got no right leg, Leo Barry.
And Brett Kirk will win the free kick.
Well, he's very lucky there because Leo's a dead set left footer. He uses his right leg for balance only.
It's just a walk-on.
Well, the expectations were very high coming to this ground. And, well, it's one goal the difference, and it's a really good game of footy.
It's a great game. It's what we expected. It's what we hoped for. The Sydney Swans, prior to last week's game, have been in enormous form, winning 6 straight. Hawthorn, we know how good they are. Great contest. It's living up to expectations so far.
I really like the tackling. The tackling's been outstanding in the first quarter.
Great start to the game. 3 quarters to come. Let's hope it continues in that same vein. Quarter time here at the MCG. The Hawks by 1 goal. Big crowd here at the MCG, and we've heard from Damien Hardwick as we take a look at the stats, guys. I just find it amazing that there's no Mitchells, there's no Hodges at the top of that list.
Well, it's interesting. Franklin's had 6 disposals. I think Paul Roos will be happy with that. We heard Damien Hardwick. I'm probably going to put Franklin deep and probably drop off trying to get Matner and Kennelly deep in their forward 50.
Yeah, scoring efficiency inside 50s is what Damien Hardwick touched on. They're getting the ball inside 50, just haven't had the efficiency to kick goals or scores for that matter, and conversely the Sydney Swans have been very good at it.
And you're right, Matty. Brett Kirk's had an outstanding first quarter, 9 disposals to Mitchell's 4, so that's a huge win. And we see Franklin walking to the goal square, so that's a better move there. Looks very dangerous deep and isolated.
Stats can be misleading. Sorry, I said can be misleading at times.
The Clanger count 16 to 17 for both teams, very high.
Underway in the second term. Jolly winning the clearance, belting it high, looking for more. O'Keefe come across, didn't take the grab. Brown. Gee, they did it well. Birchall got it to Crode and turned Guerra. Oh, nice grab there by Gillam.
They should be able to run this out to the wing into space. It was good work from Ablett.
Ablett got back to pressure Young, but unfortunately went to ground, and Young is away. Now, he could have gone to Osborne. In fact, it was probably the better option, but he's gone into the pocket, so low percentage, because Osborne was trying to run off him to let his player go with him, wait for the one over the top.
Spot on Spud with the move of Lance Franklin. Ty Kennelly with that dislocated left shoulder. It'll be certainly a stinger, I reckon, Spud, as we called it in the first quarter, but he's back on the ground.
Would you do a chicken wing with him nice and early?
Oh, you'd grab
Test it out?
You'd grab it first up, I would have thought. But Lance Franklin, if he has 6 possessions a quarter, but they're inside 50, that's going to be very dangerous for the Sydney Swans. And I think Lewis Roberts-Thompson, in the position Lance is in now, will be he'd be pretty nervous.
Not 15. It's never 15 in the back half.
The other end of the ground, as you said, Matty,
it would have been 20.
Got Jolly on wide here.
And they've got, I think it's Moore long. Now, Jared McVeigh's got to run at the ball carrier so Moore can stay in position.
In trouble, Sydney. Craig Bolton. Kirk comes to help out. Mitchell, tough underneath, and they're pretty lucky there, the Swans.
Well, it was a silly call from Bolton. It's okay to call for the handball, but you can see he's running into a brick wall. 3 Hawthorn players were in front of him. He was better off protecting Jolly and let Jolly kick the ball to Moore.
And that's what players are instructed. Reward the runner. Now,
Must give it.
You only got to, if you call for it, you've got to be in a good position.
That's the onus on the player calling, isn't it?
Yep.
Kirk, little give to Ablett, who is working hard himself. Around the corner, Ladson.
Well, it's a good grab under pressure from Leo Barry from Jared Roughhead.
Franklin's one-on-one here.
He wants to go short.
Square.
He's just going to bob it up and hope that Buddy can mark it.
Richards.
But now Richards comes in to be 2-on-1. Ball at ground level. Where is he? Doesn't need it. Osborne wobbles it through for a point.
That's the beauty of Franklin. Very rarely does he get out-marked. Great front and square from Osborne, but just good pressure from the Sydney Swans defence.
And importantly, Lance Franklin didn't lose his feet. So he stays in the contest for that second effort.
Kennelly gets it back from Bevan. A little short pass, and they're just flirting with danger, the Swans.
Haven't been clean, Sydney. There's a couple of fumbles early in the game. A lot of pressure, a lot of tackling. Haven't been clean with their hands.
Jolly having an influence on the game.
See, once again, Moore's getting into space. Now he's allowed Goods to be the spare man. Oh, outstanding grab, because if the ball came to ground, Goods was there to crumb it and run into space by himself.
What's the win at the moment? O'Keefe's only had the 2 disposals. Ron O'Keefe.
Measured pass from Guerra to Mitchell. Now his kick out in front of Rioli or Franklin. They both miss it. Matner.
Another handball from Sydney.
Barry's trying to mop it up. He's got nowhere to go. Back to Bolton. Now to Matner. His kick. Richards the target. Gillen steals it. Couldn't get past. Wants Young or further afield Mitchell. Going back. Birchall. Now Mitchell was tackled.
Too late. Brett Kirk was so intent on getting Sammy Mitchell, he had no idea that Mitchell had already handballed the ball.
This is Campbell. High ball. Franklin. One-on-one. Too easy.
He'd done all his work 2 or 3 metres before the ball landed in his hands to just check the run of Lewis Roberts-Thompson, and basically took an uncontested mark in the end, but that's a great grab. Nice kick as well into space.
The key was Campbell's kick. You just see Campbell here, he kicks the ball to grass. We heard Damien Hardwick get the ball to grass, give these power forwards something to run onto.
And we just saw the replay there.
Franklin's kick's not good, though. The radar's off so far for him, so 3 shots at goal. 1, 1, and zip.
And once again, not rewarding the inside 50 with that scoring efficiency.
Lynchy, it's interesting Craig Bolton is on Williams. I know Williams is a terrific matchup. It just seems the better matchup on Lance Franklin.
I'm very surprised, actually, with the matchup. I mean, Roberts-Thompson's been OK in the first part of this game, but it'll be something we may see the rotation later in the game.
Well, at the moment, he's only got 1 goal.
Oh, yeah, he's doing very well. He's doing well so far.
He might get 2 if it comes back pretty quickly, though.
One-on-one here.
Here he is. The ball lands short, though. Oh, he just gets rid of him. He doesn't exist. Now he's got 2.
Now it's time.
It may be time, and it's because it's that dangerous full-back position as well, where you just get hurt with every possession, and this goes long to a one-on-one situation. The kick wasn't great, but here, look at the turning ability of a 6'5" athlete, and just got to attack the hips there. Great play, not bad play by Lewis Roberts-Thompson, but he's got to attack the hips and make a tackle there. Great goal, Lance Franklin.
Well, it was good play because he assumed Franklin was going to turn onto his left. He turned onto his right, threw him out.
Outstanding performance once again from Lance Franklin, going right instead of left, fooling Roberts-Thompson.
There's no doubt Paul Roos will be looking at the matchup with Craig Bolton and Lewis Roberts-Thompson.
Biggest margin of the game now for Hawthorn, 14 points. And they're away from the clearance. Hodge getting involved. Onto the chest of Saul, of Williams. And there he is again.
Well, the runner's on the way out. And he's just going past Lewis Roberts-Thompson. Now on Craig Bolton. They've made the change, actually. The runner's just made the change. And
10 seconds too late.
Yeah, just a little too late, but Paul Roos had made the call from the bench. Williams got him involved then. That's a beautiful pass. Now, Lewis Roberts-Thompson couldn't do anything about that. It's just the midfield's got to get back and block up the space.
Franklin for his 3rd. Importantly, though, for the Hawks, give themselves a 20-point buffer, and it stays left.
So they've made the change now. Craig Bolton will get that match up. Lee Colbert's got some news on the boundary line for us.
You're right, boys. The runner did come out to Bolton, told him to change over. You should have seen the poor look on his face. He's just taking a big, deep breath and going, oh, no. We've got Buddy.
So Sydney on the kick-in. Kennelly with hands to Roberts-Thompson. Thought about McVeigh over the top. Kicks to space. Guerra was in good position, got an unkind bounce. But again, he'd be happy because his opponent, O'Keefe, can't get into the game.
Guerra's had 4 disposals, all lace out. Unfortunately for Sydney, Ryan O'Keefe's only had the 2.
That's 3, jump at it. Don't hold.
15-point game. Boundary throw in. Jolly was looking for Ablett. Kirk wins it, just belts it forward. Richards off the ground. Gillam goes back. Mitchell gets support. The run of Crawford. Out wider, gives Rioli a chance. Perfect pass from the Brownlow medalist. Rioli wants Williams. Almost, yes, he's got it. Free kick against Matner.
The beauty of Rioli, well, you think of him as a front and square player, but he's very good overhead, so he opens up a void behind him. They've got great connection at the moment, the Hawthorn forwards, especially Rioli and Williams.
Well, 2 years ago, he was the key leading forward for the Hawthorn team before Franklin and Roughhead really burst onto the scene.
And already Bolton was on Williams. Now they've got a nightmare here.
Well, that's right. Matner's a reasonable size, but not a strong body player.
Perfect kick from Williams. He's got 2.
He doesn't miss too many opportunities, Williams. He's a beautiful kick on goal, and a fit Williams in this forward lineup just really complements Roughhead and certainly Lance Franklin. There's Marty Matner had a good season, but just see there, that's good vertical jump. He was caught under the ball pretty well. He's jumped up and just the right arm going over the shoulder gave the free kick away. And something the Sydney Swans don't want to concede too many of those.
7 inside 50s to 2 Hawthorn's way this quarter. And for the game, it's 22 Hawthorn, 11 to Sydney.
2 goals, 3. Sydney haven't scored in this quarter.
May have been just a matchup issue. Lewis Roberts-Thompson's got the Williams matchup now.
Adam Goods missed.
Where Sydney's strength is the clearances, and also that's a win for Hawthorn also. It's 10 to Hawthorn, 8 to Sydney. So all the key indicators going Hawthorn's way.
Ooh.
Gee, that was lucky.
He was very lucky. I think both players were lucky.
Given what's happened with Goods so far this season, he got a chat from the umpire. And now Jolly wins the free kick. Jolly's been outstanding. He gave it off to Goods. Playfair is target, and they really need to go here, Sydney. Playfair has to go back and kick this. He's averaging 1 a game.
Well, 21 points the difference, and Sydney were very good in that first term. Just the Hawks in the second term have really kicked away and dominated possession. Playfair, he's been a reasonable target up forward, but he's got to make the most of this opportunity. Shot on goal.
20 gone.
8 games, 8 goals, 7 behinds. And wouldn't you know it? He's now 888. He's a wrestler,
just
isn't he?
wanted that, didn't you?
He's a wrestler or something, isn't he?
A race car team, V8 supercar team.
You've lost me there. But they needed that, and they've got to get one on the board. Hawthorn got their tail up a bit here. They're 20 points up as Birchall swings it to Murphy. Now Murphy just says, I'll just kick it to you, Lance, because 1-on-1 I reckon you'll win, but not to be that time. Bit slippery there.
It was good work, actually. Lance Franklin just shoved Craig Bolton fairly. Just pushed him in the chest, pushed him out of the road. Just the kick was a little bit off. Otherwise, it would have been a nice mark after some very good work.
From the throw in, Mitchell wobbles it forward. Bolton with a bit of a don't argue. Back to Goods. That's a very clever handball to Bolton. Can they get something happening here? No. Maybe. Bird. Out in front. Into the pocket. Buchanan came out. Hawthorn defence under pressure here, but Crawford summing it up nicely. Just went off the ground. He's going to get it back too. Great work from Shane Crawford. Looping handball. Now Morton's got time and space. He chips it back in the middle, and good decision. Murphy looked up. Could have gone to Taylor. Goes longer. Williams. Franklin. Standing in the way, Everett. Pushed him out of the way. Did he have possession? No. He's going to get a shot at goal.
I'm not sure whether Peter Everett put his whole body on the line there. When you've got Franklin and his direct opponent coming in, Everett should have somehow, just see here, maybe trying to look for the free kick. Yeah. Big Peter. Would have been better just containing Franklin's run.
2-2 for Lance Franklin.
Seem to have a few matchup problems. Kennelly's got Williams now. Just Paul Roos just playing with a few options in the back half.
That is a shocker.
What would you call that one, wouldn't you? A pie floater?
Off the tee.
Well, just go to the bounds. Just go to the bag and get another ball.
There's your mulligan.
2 goals, 2, and 2 haven't scored. Now, the pre-game show we talked about goal kicking.
He was magnificent in the warm-up,
Yeah.
off 2 steps from outside 50.
Free kick, Hawthorn. Here it is again. And there's the reaction from the star forward. He can't believe it. It's Sydney with the ball.
Yeah, they've just got to generate some run off halfback here. They're really struggling. I mean, Hawthorn have been very good shutting the run down from the Sydney Swans. They just can't find targets at the moment. That's great, Mark. Need a couple of big names to stand up over the next 5 or 10 minutes.
No bigger than Adam Goods as he hits a high ball, standing and waiting.
Great spoils, 3 on 1. O'Loughlin's by himself. They can get it? No.
Too good Hawthorn defence. Crow running for him, Young. Away they go. The old 1-2. Forward again, Franklin. Bolton this time brings it to ground, but it's not out of trouble yet. Bolton is besieged by Hawthorn players. Oh, you thought he was going to give it to us.
Please don't umpire, because he did really well there, Bolton.
That was fantastic effort.
And that's the difference, Lynchy. He had the ability to get down at the loose ball. Lewis Roberts-Thompson early would have been all at sea once that ball hit the ground.
25 metres out from Hawthorn goal, but here he is again from the clearance. Kirk giving it up though. Young can kick a goal, takes it, goes to outside 50, loops it towards the goals and kicks a beauty.
That hurts.
We see it week in, week out. Turnovers kill teams. Great work from Brett Kirk to get the ball out of that clearance. See the Craig Bolton effort here. He's gone to ground. He may have picked up a free kick, but Hawthorn players in the block it up. Kirk's gone for the clearance towards Richards, and that's chopped off. And just to see the ball sail over your head is mentally very sapping for the Sydney Swans when they've been pummeled in this quarter.
Clinton Young with a wonderful finish, his 9th goal for the season. The margin is a worrying 26 points.
They've been super clean, Hawthorn. Can't say the same for Sydney. A few fumbles, a few missed handballs, but Hawthorn have been outstanding with their ball use.
We saw that Clang account at quarter time for both teams, not good, but the Swans have gone on with it, unfortunately.
And Hawthorn doing everything right. Can they get another one? Bolton again besieged. Osborne out the back looking for Williams. Kennelly with him. Play on the call. Bird with hands. Kennelly got it from Ablett. Short pass. And Hawthorn really worrying Sydney here.
It was a good run from Peter Everett out of the defensive 50. The push up onto the wing to provide a target.
Everett. Crow did well. Came across. Knew what he was always going to do, and that was punch it out of bounds.
That's what you need from your big power defenders. Just halve a contest. That's what he's there for.
He's got up pretty sore as well. Just made a contest, took out a bit of friendly fire there, but you've just got to kill the contest and make sure the ball goes over the line. Good attack on the footy.
Everett gets front spot, but Taylor wins the knock. Ablett, he's not going anywhere.
It's amazing to think that Sydney have had 12 more disposals than Hawthorn.
Lance Franklin at the top of the disposal ladder for Hawthorn with 10. Ellis wanted the boundary. Tuck was there, and they get it. If Lance Franklin ends up being on top at the end of the day, Hawthorn will win. No doubt about that.
Yeah, especially he's playing deep in this quarter, so he'll kick plenty or have plenty of shots on goal.
Ball up inside the Sydney forward 50. There is the man in question.
Such a very good athlete, such a dangerous player. There's plenty going on in centre wing at the moment. Crawford's involved. Might be Kieran Jack.
Paul Bevan.
Paul Bevan it is.
Yeah. He doesn't mind a bit of a scrap.
Still going on.
Hawthorn and Sydney, I can't penalise one when they both do it. Thanks, Brett.
Just trying to stand out in the wing, mind your own business, and you've got someone bumping into you every couple of seconds.
Fella's got to let me bounce there. I pay a free kick for interfering with the bounce.
So we reload.
Play on.
Taylor again winning the knock. Goods hunting it, but Ellis first to it. Murphy in there also. And Ellis went back again, and will go again. Got a whistle coming up shortly.
Lame up. Thanks.
See Adam Goods got a bit of high contact here. Nothing deliberate, but yeah, the left ear will be ringing a little.
McVeigh got it out of the clearance.
His leg.
And he's going to get a free kick. Underneath all that is Kieran Jack.
The game's been played on Sydney's terms the last 90 seconds. Stoppies after stoppies, just gaining some yardage.
Well, it was important that they slowed the momentum up of Hawthorn and not in principle kick goals quickly themselves, but actually stop the momentum of Hawthorn and then start to rebuild into the game. Just try to get momentum flowing their way slowly.
Rising star nominee in round 4. Sydney desperately need this. They trail by 26. He can't bring it back to 20. He's missed, and they continue to let themselves down.
3 missed opportunities. Buchanan in the first quarter missed 2 sodas.
Jared Moore missed an easy one.
That hurts.
Now, can Hawthorn make them pay at the other end?
Well, they're just got to keep the ball in their defensive 50, the Sydney Swans. They need a very mobile zone here and work hard to get another chance to have a shot on goal. Still not it yet, the Hawks.
Young in trouble. Jack the tackler. Young, he got a boot to ball. That was so clever. You thought he was going to be gone, but he managed to just get the boot onto it.
Oh,
and he breaks free. Clinton Young, unfortunately for him, Kennelly standing the way. He doesn't take the mark. Sydney under extreme pressure. Williams free, running, bouncing. And is he kick number 3? Yes, he has.
Outstanding pressure. Not sure it was the right choice. I think it was Jolly that pushed the ball forward for Sydney. It actually went Hawthorn's way when you've got... We just have a look at the replay here. Jolly gets the ball. Again, it was just a fumble. Maybe he should have just held the ball in and caused the ball up. But he hit the ball forward, which actually went Hawthorn's way. When you've got players like Rioli and Williams running into space, it's all over. Great running. See Rioli there next to him and Williams.
Mark Williams has kicked 3 goals well before half-time. So they are steamrolling now.
This matchup here has been outstanding too. Rioli and Mattner have only had the 4 disposals each, but Mattner's only had 1 handball received. Rioli's putting a lot of pressure onto him.
He's been a great rebounder off half-back Mattner, so that is a win for the Hawks, no doubt. And we just saw that Jolly knock back. The natural tendency of players is to run forward. You're just drawn forward, and we saw once it was into space towards the forward goals, the Hawthorn goals, they had 3 or 4 players just run into that sort of space. Very dangerous.
Tuck the clearance. Bevan over the top of Crawford. They've been playing bumpity-bumping here. What will happen here? Nothing. Rough head. Rioli. Bit of tunnel ball from Kennelly. In the end, it may not work. Saul, quick give. Punched clear by Bolton.
Still
Hawthorn.
numbers, though.
Too many numbers, Hawthorn.
Oh, super kick.
Oh, wonderful kick. Found Roughhead.
That kick was outstanding.
Ladson.
It was Ladson, and I think the Sydney defence assumed he was going to go long and just kick the ball to grass. Exquisite skills.
Good pressure from Hawthorn. Now Franklin's got 2. Williams has got 3. Roughhead to join the party. It's a poor miss.
Is that his natural kicking style? Just only takes a few steps when he's having shots on goal there, Spud.
I reckon he could have taken another 2 or 3. There's no doubting. Just
doesn't run into it too far.
Just started a couple there. Didn't get a lot of drive. No momentum through the ball.
Yeah, he planted the bottom foot.
You might be right there, Alistair. Pretty slippery underfoot. And if you plant it early, you're going to get a little bit of shift.
You were potting me early.
No, I just didn't say anything. I didn't agree with you, and I didn't disagree.
Sydney trying to get something happening here. A crummer needed. Bird and Buchanan went without it. Hawthorn far too desperate.
Now I'm all over it.
They're all over it now. Talking about desperate Matty Campbell. Desperate times for that man there, Paul Roos. They've just got to get something on the scoreboard before half-time. The Hawks are just looking dominant at this stage.
It's a 32-point margin. This could be 45-50 by half-time.
Lee Cole, but Sydney seem to be rotating feverishly on the bench. Are they trying to get a different matchup down there?
Possibly, mate. Nothing seems to be working at the moment. They can't get goods free, and it's really frustrating them.
Mitchell from the clearance. Again, Ladson. Again, his kick is a beauty. Rioli's up and away. He's going to back himself to outrun Nick Smith. Now, can he give it across to Tuck? He can. Tuck, short. Took the safe option, Williams. No need for that, Williams.
Trying to milk the 50, Williams.
Yeah. They may hold possession with Franklin. They haven't, but he's going to pick it up anyway. Not this time, buddy. But they lost a couple of seconds while Williams looking for it.
Yeah, that's right. Just probably had to go back and swing onto the right boot to get it in quicker to Lance Franklin. What about that? Back himself, Rioli. Great to see young players have the confidence to take on the tackler.
He was looking a little bit tired coming into the bye, and I think for young players, the bye is a terrific thing. They do their first full pre-season. This is dangerous.
Numbers for Hawthorn. Saul. Rough at his target.
50
there.
Chipping the way Bevan, I should have said.
Not a good pass, but Sam Mitchell was fantastic. He used his body to push Adam Goods out of the way to allow a Hawthorn mark. But, yeah, got back into the spot, and that's what you want your halfback flankers and midfielders to push back into defensive 50 to crowd it up.
Bevan's kick drives it low. Turnover again. Kennelly fumble. Pressure again from Hawthorn is superb. Ellis over the top of him. They want a free kick. They don't get it. He's saying Ellis dragged it in underneath. That's great work.
Yeah, it was a good call. This is what professional AFL footballers do now. They drag the ball under your opponent and try to keep him there. And they're getting the free kicks more often than not. So a good call from the umpire.
Goods turned around nicely, got rid of a couple, played for his target at the back. There's a Mark Sydney.
That's a good jump.
Finally O'Keefe.
Campbell Brown is looking at the umpire saying, I touched it first, I was in front.
Doesn't want to give a 50 away here.
He was pretty frustrated, Campbell. Look at John. Look at the look. Just have a look here.
He's got a good case.
He's got a very good case. Unfortunately, we get the benefit of the replay.
It's hard for the umpire and any forward worth his salt. No, you're a defender, Spud, but he'll claim that one.
There's the 50.
It was always coming.
Eventually it came. Mouthing off.
He's got nowhere to go now, Campbell, unfortunately. Jared Moore's walked over to him. They were at each other. You've just got to walk away. The only thing that can happen is a 50 like this.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We called that it was a possibility. A controversial mark, but it was there. We see Campbell Brown, Alistair Clarkson's made the move. We'll bring him off the ground. Jared Moore in his face, just sort of trying to get under his skin. Jared Moore knew the only option here is that it could be a 50-metre penalty if he really balls over the top.
I think Campbell will go to the phone at some stage, and I suggest he holds the phone away from his ear.
Well, I don't think he probably doesn't need the message. The message has already been delivered. Come off.
Campbell Brown on the phone. He's not speaking to Alistair Clarkson. He's speaking to Rossi Smith.
Rossi Smith, the defensive coach.
He probably didn't have to be told.
But the last thing Hawthorn need is a little bit of momentum for Sydney coming into half-time. I think that's what they'd be talking about. Don't give them an opportunity to get some confidence.
That's a very good point. And the best way to do that for Hawthorn is to take it down the end and kick a goal. Williams, if he finds a target, may well do that. Ladson's got a back, but Bevan stands and waits.
It's good positioning again from Bevan.
Spreads it wide. Bird, his target. And he just chips it back.
And if Sydney get the follow-up goal, I think that's when Campbell's in a little bit of strife at half-time.
Yeah.
I think at Hawthorn, you get a couple back and just gain ascendancy again. But if Sydney get back-to-back goals...
Whoops.
Yeah, they haven't let him do that all day. The Sydney Swans, great defence from Hawthorn.
Franklin's on here.
Rough head. He set this goal up. Williams looks for him.
Oh, well done, Craig Bolton. The hands in the back against Lance Franklin because he pushed back hard into the contest.
That was fantastic play from Bolton. You're right, Lynchy. Just the ability to push back there is outstanding.
Sydney, though, again the turnover. It's coming back pretty quickly. This time it's Hodge. He doesn't miss. Luke Hodge gets the goal that Hawthorn wanted.
Turnovers are hurting the Sydney Swans. They worked hard to get back there, and I think there was a tackle from Ty Kennelly on Osborne that he couldn't. That's a free kick against Craig Bolton, or to Craig Bolton from Lance Franklin. This tackle here, Ty Kennelly, he's got a fair few problems with his shoulder, and just see he couldn't hold the tackle, and he took a fair while to get up from the ground there. That's obviously that dislocated shoulder is causing a few problems, but very important goal before half-time for the Hawks.
Hodge has been a goal kicker in the last 4 weeks. He's kicked 10 goals, and he was the right man at the right time to get that goal back that Hawthorn gave up. And Kennelly is working hard because every time he tries to clear it, it comes straight back at him.
And it was an important goal in that Hawthorn would, Sydney Swans were working hard to get back in this contest with a couple of quick goals, and for Hawthorn to answer it in that situation was very important.
Bolton, O'Loughlin is out there in front of Murphy, played for the free, didn't get it. Ellis scooped it up, gave it to Mitchell. Around the corner, Morton running onto it. Couldn't take it. He's knocked out of the contest by Barry. Roughhead in and over the ball. Searching handball forward. Ablett wrapped up by Williams. Hawthorn tackling superb. Sydney went out though. Goods. Free man is Buchanan. Can cut back in the middle. He does. Kirk. Point of the square. Short pass. Playfair dropped it. Gets a free. Crow can't believe it.
They've been red hot on the hands and the back. We saw at the other end, Lance Franklin against Craig Bolton on that occasion. Playfair had already spilt the mark, but then it was just a desperation lunge from Crowd to put pressure on Playfair and had the hands in the back. Just see here, yeah, there's not much in it, but we know the rule is if you put the hands in the back these days, they'll play it.
He missed one earlier. This one from directly in front. He's got the distance. Goal for goal here at the MCG.
Much needed goal for Sydney. See Trent Crow there. Pretty frustrated. Tiggy Touchwood, lead of the law.
Let's have a look again. Here. He spilt the mark. And there was a hand towards the back. It was probably either side, was it?
We didn't get the benefit of seeing behind whether Trent Crow's fist was clenched. If it clenched, it's not a free kick. If it was open, it's definitely a free kick.
Still plenty of push and shove going on between Crowd and Playfair after that goal.
And as we saw with Campbell Brown, you just don't want the Hawthorn players to spill over their top, their emotion, their vigour at the opposition player. Just got to be careful to contain it.
Emotions are running high. 90 seconds remain in this first half. But it's still tough in close.
Really enjoyed the physical side of this game today.
Yep.
A lot of good, hard contests.
Yeah, the attack on the ball's been fantastic.
Oh, it's been, you know, players like Ellis who just dived in there, just almost suicidal sometimes of the contest. Hodge waits. Waited too long.
Dropping the ball.
Holding the ball.
Well, he's looking for the release out the back, and unfortunately the wingers didn't get around the back for the release. Hawthorn are very good at that, but he had a look. There was no one there.
Jolly coming up for disposal, number 12. No one on the mark. The big man decides to hit the pocket. O'Keefe's got some space. Didn't take it, went to ground. 2-on-1. Ladson back again. And happy to see it over. Well done, Rick Ladson.
Well, it was well done, Campbell Brown. I think there was a little bit of frustration in that spoil from Campbell Brown there. Just back onto the ground. He wanted to redeem himself.
Sydney from the clearance again. Kirk deep into the pocket. Here's Brown once again. O'Keefe got rid of him. We've got a ball up. We were inside the last minute. It's a 27-point game. Hawthorn led at quarter time by 6.
So look at the contest. Campbell Brown fresh back on the ground from a spell on the bench. Great contest.
First at it, Moore. Paddles it forward. Trying to thread their way through was Bolton, but in the way. Birchall, yeah. Sets up Crowd. Now, can they take it to the other end? Birchall's run on. Hard running from him. Crowd, a little bit messy on the kick. Oh, he just steps around Everett Birchall. Nice work. Gillam on the left. Osborne. Open for Crawford. Decides to go longer to Campbell. Campbell steals it off of Barry. Hands it to Roughhead. Roughhead gets his first right before halftime. The Hawks will be pumped.
Great goal, Hawthorn. It started in the middle of the ground. Everett had to corral or at least gain a tackle. Missed tackles kill you in football. But just see the long kick from Osborne. Great move here. Just putting Campbell forward, stretching the Sydney defence. Jared Reffer head stays down, and that's a very good goal. The funny thing about it, Franklin and Roughhead have kicked a lot of goals from ground level. We expect them to take them from the high marks, but they've been very good at ground level today.
Great work from Hawthorn. Great running goal. Started at Birchall. Deep in defence, kept going, and Roughhead finished it off, and he's just dropped into the hole for the last 10 seconds of the quarter.
Alistair Clarkson, he said enough. Enough's enough. We'll be happy with this lead at half-time.
Oh, coming in off the line. Buchanan.
Oh, there's someone
solid
down from
hit.
Hawthorn.
And the siren will go
Hodge is down.
Hodge is down. He's getting up. He's a tough man. Buchanan came in hard off the line. It's been an outstanding quarter from Hawthorn. 6 goals to 2. Here's Hodge. Here's Buchanan. Bang.
That'll be definitely looked at.
Oh, of course it has. He's hit him in the head.
Already hit high contact. They look at.
He's in a little bit of strife there, Eamon Buchanan. Hodge is a magnificent ball player. You've got to protect your ball player, especially at centre square, well, anywhere on the ground, but that'll be looked at, no doubt.
The Hawks have been tough, they've been physical, but more importantly, they've been more skilled than Sydney, and they've taken control of this game. Half-time here at the MCG, 3rd versus 4th, 3rd lead by 33 points. As the crowd will be expecting, Alistair, I guess they're expecting better from Sydney in this second half, but more importantly, not so much their intensity. We know that they work hard, whatever, just their skill level.
Yeah, the intensity is certainly there, but just the ability to hit targets, and we've seen it through most games this weekend. It just kills teams if you continually turn the ball over through the centre corridor. And I think the likes of Canelli, although, as we touched on, it's going to be tough for him. He's got that very sore shoulder. He needs to be involved, needs some ball carriers. Goods had 11 disposals. He's got to get the ball in his hand, be able to have the running bounces and drive the ball long and deep to give his forwards a good option one-on-one.
Kirk's been very good. We see him get some attention there. No doubt he's been their best player. 17 disposals. He's been on Sammy Mitchell with 11. So that's a win for Sydney. He's showing the way.
Yeah, the difference between his best and worst is very small. He just works at a high rate, a very efficient player, and he'll be leading from the front in the second half for the Swans.
Not for the first time, Brett Kirk with his head taped as we're underway for the 3rd quarter. And Kirk is there, but also Ladson, who just shoveled it out to Birchall. It ends with Ellis, who bangs it forward. Here's Williams again, liked his first half. Into the pocket, Osborne got rid of Matt. Now here's Franklin again, trying to manufacture something. 2 goals, 4 now for Franklin.
Good work from a number of Hawthorn players there. I mean, Williams pushed right up the ground to get his possession and put a ball into position where I think Osborne, he worked his player out of position, but then just tried to pluck the one-hander, and Lance Franklin went close to kicking a miraculous goal.
Their forwards really work for each other. Well, and again, another turnover. That kick was inexcusable there from Matner. I wouldn't be kicking anywhere near Rioli from a kick in.
Too quick.
He was so quick.
Well, it would have been made a little bit easier if he actually hit the target, though. Kieran Jack just bounced in front of him. But look a bit flustered, the Sydney Swans, with their disposal. It's a very unusual, one of the coolest, calmest teams in the competition at their best.
Wonderful shot on the reverse angle of what is ahead for Cyril Rioli, and that's always going to be on the light side. So just the behind, and so the margin to 35.
The focus of Barry Hall during the week, you'd like to think Sydney wouldn't worry about it going into today's game.
No way in the world they would.
You wouldn't have thought
this
so.
This is a professional outfit that won 6 of their last 7.
But the fact is that there's been an enormous amount of focus on Barry Hall, and obviously the players have been involved, the leadership group's been involved.
So when Marty Matner's taking a kick in, he's thinking about Barry Hall?
Well, he's not, but it has been a focus during the week. And maybe a distraction.
No.
I'm sure they want him back.
Kirk, kicking it long. O'Loughlin sets himself at ground level. Campbell Brown the crumb. He's wrapped up. He's holding the ball. A chance for Sydney. Advantage not paid. It comes back.
But just to help you out, Lynchy, I'm not going to let Matthew just sort of win that one with just one foul swoop.
Just muscle me out of it, he was, Matty Campbell.
The facts are, Hawthorn have been beaten 6 times as well. Their mindset has all been about winning the hard ball and playing some good footy. Sydney, unfortunately, have had 3 days of talking about Barry Hall and their focus. And I know they're professional, Matty, but they're human as well.
Right, so that focuses on a drop punt. I won't wear that. We can argue all day. Let's get back to Eamon Buchanan. He needs to kick one. He's obviously still thinking about something else. He's kicked another behind. That's 3 shots from Buchanan. 5 goals for the difference. Sydney continue to let themselves down in front of goal from their set shots.
And from the few times they've gone inside 50, the shots they've missed is really hurting them on the scoreboard.
Well, Buchanan as a half forward, you finish with 3 goals, you've had a very good day. 3 behinds, you've had a stinker.
That's a great grab under pressure.
Playing well, Young, isn't he? He's done some terrific things this afternoon. That kick, though, just to the advantage of Bevan, who takes a nice grab himself. Now, the switch of play to Goods. The second one has troubled them, though. They've really struggled to get a player on the switch free.
Yeah,
now they do.
Haven't seen much of it from the Swans. They spread very well when they're playing well. But just, I mean, it's got to be a wrap on the pressure that's been applied one-on-one from the Hawthorn side.
Also, the ability of Hawthorn manning the mark. Have a look. Williams is playing deep forward. He's ran up and really made sure Matner doesn't get any flow on. Have a look at Roughhead here also.
Got numbers back too, Hawthorn.
They've got every player, all 18 players in the defensive half, the Hawks.
Play fair. Looking for Ablett, who's out in front of Birchall. Keeps it in. Did okay. Inside the 50, high ball. Standing and waiting, though, was Gillum. Nice mark under pressure. He just goes short. Tuck. He's in some space. He can take it and go. No one comes near him. Franklin moving forward. He went down to help out. He's not going to get past Bolton here.
Super play there from Bolton. He was aware that Franklin was trying to get goal side and tap the ball over the top, but he didn't allow him to run goal side.
Bolton just gave it straight back to Hawthorn, though. Ladson. Pinched, though, by McVeigh. Not a lot of room for Barry. Goods. Not a lot of time for him. Now McVeigh. O'Loughlin the target. Too much on the kick. Numbers for Hawthorn. Hodge going back. Spreading wide, Williams. His work rate is superb today.
On the burst.
Kick just missed his target, though. Enough time for Roughhead to run onto it. More approaches. Franklin now with some space. Back to Young.
We've got
Through
a
the
number
middle
of
of the
players
ground.
with space. They're just
Tuck.
working a little harder at the moment.
Up forward, Osborne came out. Matner let him go. Osborne, desperate to keep it going inside the 450, wins the free kick.
Mitchie, your call is correct. The start of this third quarter, you just expect Sydney to play man on man. They've got a man, but they haven't got a leg rope. It's a ski rope at the moment. The amount of space the Hawthorn players have had time and space to deliver the ball is just about inexcusable at the moment.
Over the last couple of minutes, we've just seen how the Swans have tried to move the ball off half-back, and they've really struggled to find anyone with any time and space. But on the flip side, Hawthorn have just got numbers everywhere.
16-3 coming into the game for Osborne. Unfortunately, today he's off target.
No Hawthorn player there whatsoever. I think they were already in their zone.
Yeah, that's set up. Jack, run down by Rioli. Classic Cyril Rioli.
You've got to know your players' strengths and weaknesses. This young fella, Cyril Rioli, he's one of the best tacklers in the competition already.
Heads to the square, waiting for a big mark. Osborne went up very early, and it'll be a rush behind.
A lack of awareness there from Sydney also. You've got to know that Rioli's in your direct area.
He's giving him 10.
Ball.
Bang. Got him. It's fantastic stuff. We've seen some great chases from Hawthorn today. One from Rioli, or two from Rioli, one from Brown. Bolton forced to go.
On that slippery surface.
Franklin almost got him. Well, that's enough on it. I thought it was going short to Williams for a second. It's Goods. O'Keefe, he's got to get involved.
Yes, Campbell, you got it, thank you.
That's where it's nice and slippery on the members' side.
Fine there, Trent, you got it, thank you.
O'Loughlin just chip into Buchanan. Now he's right on the 50.
Just outside 50.
He's got a player in the pocket. It's a low percentage kick.
Speaking of,
And that's a nice take. It's McVeigh.
It was a good effort in the end. If he had gone to Bolton when he did, he was going to get double-teamed Bolton. So he just changed his mind, looked inboard, pulled the trigger to McVeigh.
Yeah, smarter decision, wasn't it?
Good mark for
Good
McVeigh
mark,
too.
yeah.
That's it.
Needless to say, he's got to go back and slot this one. Just missed too many opportunities at the moment
Too many set shots.
from 45 degrees.
Big kick this for the Swans. 40 metres, starts it out right, wants it to come back, does as it's told. They get one on the board at last.
That's a better start from Sydney.
Well, they worked their way up there quite
They did.
well.
And it was good ball use. That was the first time they've nearly gone the length of the ground and they've hit every target. McVeigh, they need him. Look, he's been in superb form. Only had the 8 disposals. Very good mark. We see Ladson coming over the top. Just need more of the same there. They've got their A team in the middle. Kirk, McVeigh, Ablett.
McVeigh's first for the afternoon. He's been good when it comes to kicking goals this year. 16 goals, 5 coming into the game. So he's been accurate. And Sydney get it back within that 5 goals. But Hawthorn have shown so far today they answer quickly.
Straight up. Thank you. Don't grab or block.
It'd be Jolly and Taylor. But the bounce favours Ablett. Punches it forward, O'Keefe. Murphy with him. Ablett got involved again. Bangs it forward. Hawthorn, though, with the numbers. Young in best position. Wrapped up by Buchanan. Holds it in the area. And Sydney will be a chance to reload.
It's definitely a win for Sydney.
That's the thing. When they go into their forward 50, so good tackle, good pressure. When they go in, either generate a shot on goal or a stoppage is a win.
First to it. Oh, there's nobody. Everyone ran past it. Finally, Murphy with a searching handball. Kennelly will take tuck on. McVeigh. The handball's to the wrong side of him. Put him under all sorts of pressure.
Yeah, they hit it on that left arm, which has probably got a fair sting in it at the moment.
Hodge off one step, gets plenty on it, out in front of Rioli. The boundary line beats him to it.
And you talk about Sydney's inability to hit by foot, but their hands also, not only the missed handballs, but the pop-ups haven't been playing.
Free kick. Rioli just sort of laying a boot on it after it went over the boundary line and have given the ball to Sydney. But in turn, they've given it back to Hodge. Here we go, watch Rioli.
And that comes under the old time-wasting rule, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You can't touch the ball once it goes out of bounds, and there wasn't a lot in it, but that's the rule.
Hawthorn just huddling around the centre wing here at the moment.
Still managed to break free. Birchall on this occasion.
Strong mark.
And for me, that means they're not switched on. They've had 30 seconds to man up and either get boundary side or goal side of the direct opponent.
Mitchell on the half volley, then turns and throws it on the left boot. Roughhead with the crumb towards Williams. Looking dangerous. Trying to get out was Richards. Cops one high.
Well,
Did
he
he
goes
duck?
back, Richards, and play on. We've got numbers here.
They've got numbers.
Got Kennelly.
O'Loughlin into the zone. And running hard for him was Bevan, who ran all the way down. And Bevan doesn't kick a lot of goals.
Best passage of play for Sydney. That was run and carry. That's amazing. Kennelly running through the middle of the ground. Didn't get a hand on the ball, but just his run generated some movement.
Roughhead trying to get the ball back off of Richards. So Bevan, who's kicked 20 goals in his 80 games, inside 50, 6-3 for the Swans. Can they get some reward for effort on the scoreboard? They've missed again.
They had 2 phases of play in the last 3 or 4 minutes that have been very good. They've been able to find those targets. That one was from a free kick and they played on into space. But important time for the Sydney Swans. They're just going to capitalise on those shots.
So the kick in from Ladson straight up the guts with a short one.
And this will be a good test for them. How they can hold up the run of Hawthorn coming out of the back half. See how effective your zone is. Often is an indicator of how you are switched on.
So Crode gave it to Young and turned to Morton. They've switched to one-on-one here, Sydney. 2-on-1. Bolton in best position, was always going to mark that.
Good use of the body, just nudged the big ruckman.
Kirk, Buchanan,
under the ball.
Not a lot of room here. Bolton kept going and fumbled. Luckily it spills to McVeigh, who pops it into the pocket. O'Loughlin goes back, free kick, should be a Hawthorn kick, and it's Campbell Brown.
Well, O'Loughlin was trying to turn around Campbell Brown. Good use of the body from Brown. Didn't allow O'Loughlin goal side, and O'Loughlin hanging on.
Spud, you touched on the handball, the effective disposals for the Sydney Swans. I mean, Bolton probably should have grabbed that one, but it was just behind him. He just had to turn back and wasn't sure where he was running and fumbled.
And especially in these conditions, it's very slippery underfoot and your momentum's running one way. And as you said, you handball a little bit off the V where the player wants it out in front. You stop and prop, and it's just about impossible to change direction.
Everett did well to get it down to Bolton. Throws it on the boot, gets it for Roberts. Thompson punches into the danger zone. Birchall first to it though. Sewell under pressure. O'Keefe gets rid of him. It's a hard footy to win here. Sewell went off the ground. Bird need to clean tape. Crawford did well. It's hard and tough. Ellis came through with a big tackle. It's good stuff.
Great play. Both teams going very hard at the ball.
Good tackle from Ellis on Roberts-Thompson, and then Crawford lending a hand as well. From the clearance, it's the clearance kings. Mitchell and Kirk at it. Bird helped out. Sydney are hunting well here, Danny, but they're not getting any reward on the board.
Well, this is their best vein of form in this game.
Bevan again, he's taken some good marks.
Yeah, good courage. Ran back with a fly on the ball. Lewis Roberts-Thompson tried to protect the space and just blocked his opponent out so Bevan could take the mark.
I'll tell you where it is. Me?
He went short, wasn't confident. Now, pocket.
Is he on the right side? No, he's not for a left footer.
No, he tried to grab a yard or two on the angle. Big spide, but the umpire was awake to him.
Hawthorn crowd giving him a few jeers. The big fella.
It's his third game against Hawthorn. He hasn't kicked a goal, but he needs it now. Everett, tight kick, never going to score a goal. In fact, won't even make the distance. And Sydney are 4 goals from 10 shots.
Once again, that goal square shot there was an instance where the forwards just didn't have a contest. There was 1-on-4 in the goal square.
They're all in the zone. You've still got to play the game. I'm with you, Lynchy. The ball goes up your side of you. So you get a contest, you get an easy goal, shot on goal.
Speaking of contest, it was a brilliant one won by Sewell. Williams, intelligent. Franklin, devastating. Long ball, rough head. Oh, good spoil from Barry, but they're not out of jail yet. Sydney, they get the boundary line.
What a good duel we are, Barry and Jared Roughhead.
Let's have a look here. It's a good mark. See, 4 players on 4 or 5. It makes it very tough. You just got to still be alert. Great spoil, Leo Barry.
Roughhead flipped it out the back, but unfortunately for him, no one there for the Hawks. Bolton, Everett wants to give it off, and he does. Bevan's going to run into trouble. Buchanan spinning.
Well, they've got numbers here. They've just got to get it out into space.
Not yet. O'Loughlin had to go back. Kirk in trouble. Sydney trying to get something going. O'Keefe.
They're running it with hands, Sydney. They're running through the middle of the ground with handball.
He heads into the pocket. Nick Smith. Nick Smith runs onto it. Game number 2. The young man will kick his first goal.
Magnificent play here from Sydney. And one thing about the handball, Lynchy, it creates movement. You stop and prop and kick short all the time. You don't get a lot of run. Now they're playing on with some hands.
Well, if you can play on with hands through that big grid that Hawthorn basically put over the whole ground, you can carry over the space.
For his first goal in AFL football, and he doesn't make a mistake.
That was good work, as you said, to work through the middle of the ground with hands and just to get over the back of the zone into space. And on that occasion, for young Nick Smith, just see here, a good kick. Still the defence of Hawthorn are drifting back. Nick Smith had got on the other side, the offensive side for the Swans, and taken a very good mark. Very important goal for the Sydney Swans.
Just turned 20 a month ago, and he's on the board. And not a bad way to get your first goal. When O'Keefe says, run there, I'll kick it to you. You just do the rest. Sydney, back to 22 points. Good attack on the ball from Tuck, and he wins the free kick. Seen that so many times today from Hawthorn. Quickly away. Mitchell to the goal square, to the tall timber, to Franklin. Recovers, paddles it. Can he get a boot to ball? Yes, he can. At ground level, he is the master.
Just about impossible to defend. Lance Franklin did a very good job to bring the ball to the ground. We just assumed he was going to mark the ball, and then it spilled out the back, and that's always a danger sign when you're playing on a guy like Lance Franklin. Have a look at this great contest. Bolton did a very good job. As soon as the ball was over the back, it was all out for Bolton. You can just see him here trying desperately. That's a super goal. Great strength also.
Have a look at the goal umpire.
Outstanding work from Franklin, now with 15 disposals, 3 goals, 4. Lee Colbert at ground level.
Just when you thought the Swans were putting the squeeze on, Lance Franklin kicks a goal, but more importantly for Hawthorn, Shane Crawford came off. He's pretty lame at the moment, Crawford, so he'll be all right, but he just looked a little knocked up, I think.
The margin's back to 28. Once again, Hawthorn with the answering goal after Sydney managed a couple. Richards managed to put himself under pressure. Bolton. It was Bolton to Bolton. It ended up with Craig, who got it from Jude. Bouncing ball now. Kennelly with a clean take. Hodge with a strong tackle. Hawthorn fans happy. Sorry, Danny.
Well, that'll test the shoulder out of Kennelly, sorry. Great intent by Luke Hodge.
Sun shining here at the home of football. Bird on the up. Ablett in trouble. Roberts-Thompson over the top. Again, it's Tuck burrowing through. We'll have another ball up, and again, it's warm applause from this Hawthorn fans.
The skills of the Sydney Swans are still struggling, but their spread and run-off halfback has certainly improved. But just the pressure from the Hawks has been enormous.
Kirk can't get clear because Mitchell's there first.
And it'll have to be very good because the uncontested possessions also this quarter are Sydney's favour, 47 to 25. So they're creating a lot of movement, a lot of run. Hawthorn just need to maintain the intensity and the pressure.
The 4th stoppage in a row, and Jolly just throws Campbell to the ground, and Campbell will get the free kick.
When we talk Hawthorn, we don't talk the rucks that often. Campbell and Taylor,
they're a good combination.
They work well together.
They're better than just honest, aren't they?
Yep,
they do a very good job every week.
Osman, he's away. Short pass, Franklin got him.
Talking honest, Michael Osborne, 13 disposals. When we talk about Roughhead, we talk Franklin, who's having a shot on goal, Rioli and Williams, but Osborne also a bit of an unsung hero down there for the Hawks. Great speed.
He had a shot from almost the same position in the second term at the other end of the ground, this sort of angle, and he floated forward, just spun forward off the boot.
He's had 3 goals, 4, and he's kicked 2 shockers. Right behind him. That one, it's not going to score either. So 10 shots at goal for the premier forward in the competition for 3 goals.
Have all these 3 goals been at ground level also?
Certainly 2 have, yeah. Spud, you spent some time down in Hawthorn with the forwards. You teaching him how to kick?
Yeah, what's going on? Sewell under pressure from Bolton. I'll let you contemplate that, Danny. Give you time to come up with something.
Put it this way, if they saw any vision of me kicking when I played Lynchy, I'd have to say yes, but no, I think I'll just leave that alone to the experts. David Rath apparently is doing a very good job down there at Hawthorn.
28 points is the margin. We're inside the last 5 minutes of the 3rd term. Whistle.
Yeah, Osborne just running in the contest was held up by his opponent there and got the free kick.
Franklin wants it long. It's not long enough. Goods had to go and he win a free kick.
Yeah, that was great. That was just good AFL play by both players. Lance Franklin had to go at the ball and make contact, but he's always going to give a free kick away.
It's one thing having to go. It's another thing having to go when you know there's a big power forward coming at you. Yeah, just a good contest from both boys there.
And he gets cleaned up after he kicked it by the same man, much to the joy of the Hawthorn fans in the pocket. And again, there's a fair bit of intensity, fair bit of push and shove going on.
He's in trouble. He's in real trouble down here.
Yeah, Ty Kennelly's dislocated his shoulder again, as you see Adam Goods go down, but he's in a lot of pain.
He'll have to come off now.
Oh, don't touch it, for goodness sake.
He'll have to stay off, surely.
How courageous was that? He was nearly going to grab the ball.
Yeah, be back in a sec. Just watch the big clunk as that arm comes down. There it goes.
Oh.
He's back into it. Have a look at this as he goes. And it hasn't taken much. It's a lot of pain. He's had injections at half-time as well, no doubt. But that's not a good sign.
He's going to be sore tonight.
Ellis, his kick smothered. Goods paddles it back towards McVeigh. It's tough and hard again.
He's in strife now, Kennelly.
He's trying hard, Kennelly. Hawthorn trying even harder. Roughhead around the corner. That might bounce through. No, wrong side of the post.
He's aware of it also. You could see him grab the ball there, and his first instinct was, is someone going to tackle me and drive me into the ground?
He's aware of it. It's falling out every half hour at the moment.
Important time now, this last 3.5 minutes before three-quarter time. Hawthorn really pressing here. They can sort of wrap up the game with 1 or 2 goals.
But the intensity's been really good for both teams.
Yeah, it's been great.
There's been a few mistakes, but the attack on the ball is fantastic. The pressure's been really good.
There's Ty again.
We talk about the courage of footballers, but it's understated sometimes. Tygan Ali, even being out in the ground at the moment in this situation, takes a hell of a lot of courage.
Here he is. Just a little chip pass into the middle. Ablett. Bolton's got a bit of time. And he kicks it into the pocket. No one really there for Sydney. Young going back. Gets some support from Brown, who's happy to rush it through.
Sydney Swans have pushed their full forward line up across centre half forward, and the kick was to be long so that the Swans can turn their defenders and run back towards goal. Just the kick was a little bit askew and was too close to the boundary line, and in the end Campbell Brown just rushed over for a behind.
So Brown then kicks it out, really to no one in particular. Chance for Goods. Good vision. Saw Playfair had a little bit of a hole to run into. Can kick it a long way, but decides to kick out into the sunlight looking for O'Keefe. Misses everybody. O'Loughlin, clean take. The give was good. Matner fumbled it, let him down. Hooks it back. Hawthorn with numbers here. Crode went through with strength. Ladson. Again, it's a hot ball. Again, it's pretty hard to get free. And we'll get a whistle.
No chance. That was fine. Thank you.
The direction from the umpire there about the appeal for the free kick.
Get the footy. Play up.
Plenty of players around the ball. And they're all waiting for it to come out. Where's it going to end up? Jude Bolton almost got boot to ball. Bird on hands and knees. O'Keefe, he should kick these. He's an All-Australian player and he does.
That's Ryan O'Keefe's second goal. He's been reasonably well held today, and there's been a few players rotated through that position to keep him quiet, but just the 8 disposals, but some good work, bit of a fumble to start with, but he's a noted goal kicker, very smart snap on the left foot, and once again, another important one for the Sydney Swans, just to stay in this contest.
O'Keefe has kicked it and he's still barking instructions because he can sense in his last 2 minutes if they can get one more.
The game is played on Sydney's terms. What I mean by that, there's a lot of stoppage work.
Yep.
Not a lot of run and carry. A stagnant game of football. This suits Sydney.
Jude Bolton's come into the game a bit as well.
It's that controlling the tempo of the game when it was just getting out of hand there at one stage through the second term.
And also getting secondary and third stoppages, Lynchy.
Play fair. It was well read by Crawford. He knew it was coming in that direction. Mitchell kicking it high and handsome. Beats Richards over. Margin was 33 at half-time. It's back to 22.
And the stoppages inside 50 are probably the most important. Just it's very... it's sapping when you finally get the ball inside 50 and just bounces straight back out through the midfield. Another free kick.
Umpire right down the other end of the ground paid the free kick, not the controlling umpire.
70 metres off the ball.
Yep, good vision. Adam Goods, low percentage kick there. Guerra almost got rid of O'Keefe. O'Keefe to McVeigh. No room to work there, but he somehow got it back to him. Then he kicks inside 50. Buchanan's marked it, and he owes his team a goal.
He certainly does. He's had 3 set shots on goal for 3 points. Clinton Young not noted as a key defender.
And O'Keefe's just had a couple of telling possessions. Marks inside 50, Sydney 5, Hawthorn 1 for this term. But O'Keefe's just starting to inject himself into the game. Saw Guerra came off the interchange bench to get that match up again after O'Keefe kicked that last goal. And that's a genuine contested mark from a small forward.
From 40 metres, has he got one on target? Yes, he has. Sydney back to 16 points.
Well, we've seen how the Sydney Swans can run and carry the ball and kick big scores when they need to this season. But also we know over the years they're as good as there is at controlling the tempo of the game, and they've certainly been able to slow the run of Hawthorn, and just through some forward momentum they've been able to scrap the ball into their forward 50 and maximise their opportunities with marks like that, with snaps on goal like O'Keefe's, some great goals from Goods, and they're back in it.
Finally for Eamon Buchanan, and Alistair Clarkson has something to think about at three-quarter time.
Definitely need to get the game back on their terms. Three-quarter time. Can't come quickly enough for Alistair Clarkson. Just needs to reset his boys, their mindset.
Can they get a quick one here? Hawthorn, they've got it. Taylor, hands free. Hodge throws it on the boot. It's going in the right direction.
Numbers here for Hawthorn.
First to it, Kieran Jack, well done. What a smother, though, from Taylor, who came from the centre contest. Jack took it out. Good work from both sides. And a brilliant third quarter has set something up for the last. They have halved the deficit from 33 to 16, and they have given themselves a chance. Ty Kennelly, he'll welcome three-quarter time. We'll be back with an important last quarter right after this. And we are set for a very interesting last quarter. Take a look at some of the possessions so far in the game. You mentioned Adam Goods getting plenty now for Sydney. Franklin still on top for Hawthorn.
Yeah, and a great display by both teams, the way they've attacked the ball. Lance Franklin's, he's been in amazing form, those crumbing goals. He's had plenty of shots on goal. Adam Goods has had plenty of run and carry as well. Ryan O'Keefe, he had a great third term after a very quiet first half, so he'll be one of the keys. One of those experienced crew that if the Sydney Swans are going to get up, are going to have to continue that momentum as they had in the third term.
3 goals from 10 shots from Lance Franklin.
10 shots on goal, it's amazing. One of the hard nuts for the Hawks there. Campbell Brown, another hard nut, the Irishman, Ty Kennelly.
And Hawthorn have opened up the forward 50 for Lance Franklin on his own. All the half forwards are up around centre half forward. So have a look at the space Lance Franklin has for this last quarter.
Talk us through how Craig Bolton feels, Spud, as a fullback.
He'd be a little bit nervous, Lynchy.
It's not a good spot to be playing when you've got the whole defensive 50 to look after and a gun full forward in front of you.
Can the Swans continue, or will Hawthorn just snuff out their comeback? We'll find out right now. Campbell on hands and knees again. Oh, and a wonderful tackle over the top, Luke Hodge.
Great tackle from Hodge, but once again, as we've touched on, stoppage football is what the Swans want to do at the moment. The Hawks have just got to clear the congestion here. Big third-up jumper over the top of the ruck contest to smash it into space.
Goods having an effect, pushes it wide. Birchall gets an unkind bounce. Will it sit for Guerra? No, O'Keefe off the ground. Adam Goods, 4 times in the last 5 years in round 15 has polled Brownlow votes. And if he continues to get the footy, he'll give Sydney a chance, and he'll give himself a chance to continue that record.
And Sydney have just edged in front in the clearance count, 26 to 23.
Jolly bangs it forward. O'Loughlin, the give. Kirk, can he dribble it through? He can't.
There's been a big swing in momentum, probably about 15 minutes into that third term. The Swans are right back in it.
Mitchell now. Great purchase on the kick. He really got good distance on the left. But Hawthorn, nothing clean here, but Osborne wins a free kick.
It was good use of the body from Osborne. And
now his advantage played. He went off the ground. He kicked it 45 metres. It lands with Buddy Franklin, and they've got a case to argue.
Yeah,
sure.
oh yeah, but the whistle was well and truly blown.
They always blow a whistle. Anyway.
He's a little unlucky there.
Osborne sends it back towards Franklin. He got up high, but he just batted it back to Leo Barry. And what can Sydney do on the rebound? Play fair. Risky kick.
Risky kick. Very important free kick awarded to McVeigh. Darren Jolly's just got a big knee in the head. He's been split open. A bit of claret come from the top of the scone there.
He's in a little bit of trouble too. He's still hunched over just on the left of screen there in the hands of the trainers.
It's been a good play for them too. Bevan to O'Keefe.
The issue for Jolly will be whether he'll have to come off for the blood rule.
Eventually will, when an umpire spots it. Bolton going backwards. Play fair. The chip kick into the pocket's not a good one. Crow. Hawthorn on the switch have got numbers. If they run and push hard, they could do something here. Ellis will be next in line.
Sewell's running hard.
Yeah, they needed someone to press, and they found it in Sewell.
And that was great play. Williams dragged his man away to allow Sewell to be in space.
And he's got time to measure up and find Franklin. Nothing Bolton could do there.
Now this is one of those little testers. 50 metres out on a tight angle. He'll kick these, won't he?
It's his pet distance on his pet side. Left foot in.
He's struggled with his conversion today, but they haven't been on this tighter angle. And you just know these freakish type players like these ones that aren't expected to kick.
Gives himself some room and hooks it. So we're talking about Sydney missing some set shots. Franklin hasn't got one all day. So he's been just as bad as a bigger culprit as, say, an Eamon Buchanan at the other end.
Well, Roughhead and Franklin have kicked 4 goals 8 between them.
Chance for Williams. Paddles it forward. He's good on the ground, Franklin. What will he do here? This is where he gets him. He's kicked another behind.
Umpire's done the ankle as well. He's gone over. And Damien Sully rolled the ankle, but that just short into the corridor from a kick out to a contest. Was lucky to get away with that one, the Swans.
Damien Sully in a spot of bother.
He'll push through it.
And there's Darren Jolly still with a cut to the top of his head. Kick to the outer side. Goods in front. Ellis will win the free kick. Do you like his attack on the ball, Ellis?
Well, that was fantastic, and he's done that a handful of times today. Yeah. He went in lower and harder than Adam Good, so he popped his head up. Yep. Ellis was prepared to go in low. He knew he was probably going to get a hit in the head, but didn't got a free kick instead.
In go Hawthorn again. Roughhead. Did he claim the mark?
Well, he's claimed it.
He's got it. Over the top of Richards, who can't believe it, and Roughhead will take a shot at goal.
Yeah, Tim Richards is going to walk away. Can't give away a 50 here because it is a tough shot on goal. But good jump over the back from Jared Roughhead.
Who has played on and has kicked it around the corner, and he's pumped up.
Good steadier for Hawthorn. Ted Richards not too happy with the result. It's in the scorebook. You see the umpire there in the hands of the trainer, but great awareness from Roughhead. Left foot, great on. Just see the replay. Ooh, that's nearly a ball up.
Well, Richards had a piece of it, and he's the man in front, so Roughhead shouldn't have got the mark.
Twice that's happened today. Yeah. Once down the other end with Campbell Brown. But unfortunately, it's in the scoreboard.
2-3 for Jared Roughhead. A lucky one for him, but an important one for Hawthorn in the timing of the match.
And umpire Damien Sully's succumbed to the ankle injury. He's going to spend some time on the pine. There's something protruding out of his chest.
Just while that's going on, we might throw down to Lee Colbert. Shane Crawford's back on the ground. Lee, he only spent 2 or 3 minutes on the ground in the third quarter.
Yes, he's been struggling, mate. We're just so used to seeing the champ run up and down this ground, you know, with unaided, and today he certainly struggled a little bit.
So there's Crawford. Have we got the third umpire out as yet?
Martin Ellis is just about to run onto the ground. Here he goes.
To the warm applause of the MCG crowd.
Not very forgiving, the crowd.
So add one extra to the interchange for the statistics for the afternoon. 23 points is the margin for Hawthorn. Moore couldn't take it. Jolly says, get out of my way. Bangs it forward. Mickey O's got it.
Well, Moore's in space, just wasn't able to be seen.
And Lachlan decides to head to the goal square. Pack forming. Pushed out of the way. That's not going through for a goal. It's been touched.
It was interesting. Moore
hit the post.
Moore ran into Buchanan's space. Lachlan was just about to pass the ball to Eamon Buchanan, but unfortunately Moore just had to be aware that there was space for the forward to lead into.
Yeah, got you now. Good. Yours. Yep.
So the kick in from Hawthorn. And Mitchell. Yeah, Bolton comes straight off the bench at the opportune time. Jude Bolton gives it to Craig Bolton. There's a player wide, spots him, it's good vision. Standing and waiting, Craig Bird. This is the next option's the key. O'Loughlin dives, got to get up quickly, does so. Look away handball, missed his target. Jack, or O'Keefe I should say. Stolen though. Hawthorn trying to work it clear. Sydney have possession still. Matner stands and delivers. Into the pocket once O'Loughlin. Campbell Brown, that is outstanding.
Outstanding courage. Go back with the fly of the ball and at full stretch. Took a good mark on the fingertips.
Well, it's a brilliant mark. Once again, we see it. And he's trying to measure the pass, but he might have given it up here. He has. Bevan again, strong hands. He plays on. Everett lurking. Ball at ground level. Jude Bolton, crumbing, round the corner with the left, too far on the hook. He score a point, he does. So Sydney continue to press, but Hawthorn maintaining a pretty comfortable lead. It's at 21.
And once again, they're getting multiple shots on goal. We see the Brown courage going back with the fly of the ball. Multiple shots on goal from the one inside 50, putting a lot of pressure on this defensive zone and starting to stand up for the Swans.
Thanks, lean run.
Ladson to Osborne. The running player out wide, Rioli. Jack forgot to tackle him. Rioli just getting it forward. Sewell did well. Crawford measures a pass, rarely wastes the footy, Shane Crawford. Morton wants a 50. So do the Hawthorn fans. Morton's up and away quickly into the pocket. Franklin marks again. Soon he's going to get one surely.
Well, shot number 12 on goal.
It was very good play from Morton. Mather did well to try and hold him up. Here goes Franklin.
Can he get one? They'll go berserk if he does. 3 goals, 7, and 3 times he hasn't scored. 13 shots at goal from the big man.
Well, that was a bit closer to what we saw in the pre-game when he was just taking that 1 or 2 steps, just coming around on the left foot and just slotting through from 50 metres. He's just, I think he's going to play on again next time he has a shot on goal.
Oh, good spoil from Murphy, and they'll enjoy that.
Quite a very good game, Tommy Murphy.
He has, hasn't he?
That's what you want to see from your young defenders. Just have a contest, be aggressive.
Taylor's holding on to Everett. He was there.
Just the experience of Everett in the front position, that ruck contest, drew the free kick, another one to Goods.
He was looking for the 1-2 from Kirk there, and he was held up. Well, it's Kirk's kick. Alright, they work it out. It ends up with Goods anyway. Just pulls the kick at the last minute. Not 15. Good decision. Everett chips it out wide. Sewell there first for Hawthorn. They go back. Ladson under pressure. Jude Bolton to play fair. Now a player looking at goal. It's Everett. Measures it. Wants Buchanan. Wonderful mark by the veteran.
He grabs his head. He may have landed fairly hard. But that's a big leap. Haven't seen Mickey O'Loughlin get up that high for a while.
He hasn't lost his speed. I thought he may have lost his spring, but that is a very good mark.
He worries about his head. What about Campbell Brown's head? He copped the knee. Bang.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mickey O copped a knee on the way down.
That's a good jump.
Buchanan, 32 over there.
The head's spinning at the moment. Actually, he's given the kick away.
He's in, Eamon Buchanan's got it, and he's been woeful in front of goal today.
Well, Mickey O'Loughlin's very good kick on goal. Normally, Eamon Buchanan is too.
Well, normally he is, that's right. It's a big call.
He's very much dazed at the moment.
1 goal, 3 today, Eamon Buchanan.
Margin at 22. After a big O'Loughlin grab, Buchanan does the right thing by him and brings it back to 16.
Great mark from O'Loughlin. How's he looking down there, Lee Colbert?
Yeah, mate, he's Mickey O, he's a bit dazed, all right. He's groggy as, so he's not sure where he is at the moment, but the Docs don't seem too concerned.
Great to see him get off the ground, Mickey O. He's had a very good year. Still got his speed in the veteran class, but still is a handful for any defender.
2 in a row for Buchanan, so he's starting to even up the ledger. O'Loughlin did the hard work for him. Swans stay in touch.
Bit of the old smelling salts.
Smelling salts, yes, under the nose to wake him up.
Here's Goods. Taylor gets boot to ball. Affects the clearance.
Good gather.
Yeah, Williams. And didn't panic either. He gave it to Taylor, who just says, I'm going long. Choice of 2. Roughhead or Franklin. Bevan swamped by the ladder. Craig Bolton, a little bit untidy, put Matner under pressure. Everett. Look at the speed of Osborne, the closing speed. Outstanding stuff.
Huge win there for Hawthorn. They're away, Sydney. They had numbers behind the ball, but again, just a couple of little fumbles. On the outside of the foot there. Great tackle, Osborne.
Chance for Hawthorn. But Jude Bolton got an easy one from Everett. Got no one to kick to.
Got a run and carry.
Bird, Goods, back to Bird. Now players moved on. Advantage is paid. That player is Roberts Thompson, but he has no one to kick to. He has to wait. McVeigh. One option only, and that's Buchanan.
Kennelly's up forward.
Heads in that direction, but floating across for a good mark.
And that was, Kennelly was there to lead at the ball quite rightly. He wasn't confident to put his arms up.
Now Hawthorn should go at the other side here.
Crawford peeled off, but Guerra didn't see him. Ellis. A bit static here, Hawthorn. Just waiting now.
You're right. Guerra had to pull the trigger a lot earlier. The ball is coming this way, and now they're trying to switch play.
Might be a bit late now, though.
The one-on-ones right across the field at the moment.
Brown goes in the Crawford direction. That's where it all could have gone in the first place. Nice kick.
Had to hit the target. That would have been enormous amount of pressure on Crawford, who seems to be struggling with an injury if it hit the ground.
Nicky O looks like he's recovered. He'll be on the ground very shortly.
Well, Crawford has made an absolute meal of it. I just mentioned before how he loves to hit the target. That is very uncharacteristic.
He's just up one step.
Yeah, he still had his weight going backwards, basically.
Oh, that's almost a very strong mark from Ablett because he was outnumbered 2-1. Hawthorn press forward.
3-on-1 Swans.
Oh, that's a outstanding mark there from Leo Barry.
Stood firm. Player down. Advantage again. Run and carry might be the go for Sydney here. Bevan. Poor kick.
Oh, that was a poor option.
Taylor was in the way. Numbers for Hawthorn. Brown. Murphy. Matner arrives. Murphy's kick towards Osborne, and it'll go out.
Got numbers behind the ball at the moment. Sydney Swans. Bevan's behind the ball. Jolly's playing a kick behind the ball. We see Osborne and Jolly. So a little bit of how you going?
Crowd in full voice here on a Sunday afternoon at the MCG. Hodge breaks away. Where will he find his target? Doesn't really matter. Take your pick. This time Williams. Sometimes it's just got to be in the right man's hands, and that right man is Luke Hodge.
Led up the middle of the ground beautifully, Williams. But the kick drew the lead. That was the key there. And Lynchy, you'd love to be leading when you see Luke Hodge forward of the centre. There's not a lot of pressure on him with that left foot.
Yeah, Williams' starting point was deep in the goal square with his direct opponent Ted Richards, and just beautiful lead into a nice pass.
Franklin's been off target. Williams hasn't. He's got 4 goals, 1.
A good mix up on the forward line. You talked about it, Matty. Off target, Franklin and Roughhead. But we know Mark Williams, one of the best set shots in the competition. See the stoppage there again. Great work from Hodge. Pick that up at ground level and put it lace out to Williams. 4 goals, 1. Great return.
It was good work, and Kennelly was the one who was trying to tackle but didn't have the strength because of the shoulder.
He's worked hard, Williams. He's had 17 disposals. Let's head down to the ground once again, Lee.
Yeah, the star forward, he's back out there, Mickey O'Loughlin, which is great news. He just had trouble with his vision, boys. He couldn't see, so he's okay now.
Well, he's got just over 9 minutes out there. And once again, though, Hawthorn give himself just that buffer of about 22 points.
Sorry, Luke. Sorry, didn't see anything, mate.
Very important couple of minutes. See Mickey O'Loughlin down there with Campbell Brown, that match-up.
Secondary bounce once again. McVeigh squeezes it forward. Murphy. Crawford with just a little fumble. Then back to Guerra. He's under the pump. Smith. Too high. Sydney kick.
Just a handball from Crawford, which is slightly off to Guerra, and with that slippery surface, couldn't change direction quick enough to take possession.
A Jolly inboard.
This is going to go to Goods. Well, he went to the pocket to O'Loughlin. That is low percentage. Mickey O's got it, though.
Well, there's Mickey O'Loughlin's there. 2-on-1. Both players, I think, slipped.
Well, this will test his vision.
Look for him to play on here.
He's probably seeing 8 posts.
Campbell Brown's aware that he's going to play on. He's standing the mark in the corridor.
Oh, a little right foot check side. Just straight as you like.
O'Loughlin, big kick. Oh, it's the post. It's either of them. It's never on the right side to come back, though, was it?
No,
terrific
that's a
mark.
very good mark. Saw both players, Campbell Brown and Mickey O'Loughlin, just struggling to get their foot in.
It's there, Michael. Thank you.
21 points is the break at the moment for Hawthorn. And we're into 8 minutes to go, and soon the clock will become an issue.
Now Mark Williams is the target there for Hawthorn. We see Franklin marking the ball, but Williams, that's a great matchup because Ted Richards, more suited to playing centre half back. Not sure of the leg speed factor on Mark Williams back there.
Franklin, long ball. Wrestle. Now, who's going to have that? Sewell.
What do you do with Paul Roos? Do you want to make a change there with Williams isolated in the forward 50?
No, I think you've got to let it go because Bolton's doing, well, the best job possible on Franklin.
Sewell's kick. Goods just standing in the hole, stands and waits and marks.
And you could be sure if Richards was rotated out, they'd probably try to drag his then opponent back to the goal square.
And they've got Mattner up the ground, so they don't want to put Mattner back there. So that's the luxury that Alistair Clarkson's got, just the different options up in the forward line.
And not the best result there for Sydney because, once again, the closing speed of Osborne, very good.
If Hawthorn get over the line here, it'll do wonders for their mindset. Sydney have had their number the last 6 occasions.
We talked about crunching the numbers, Danny. The average disposals for Hawthorn in their last 6 encounters has been 262. At the moment, they're 264, which is 100 down on their season average. So it's a great effort by them, even though Sydney has shut them down disposal-wise. They've got the buffer on the scoreboard.
Look, they have. They've had 53 inside 50s. That's been the important part. And unfortunately, they've kicked 12 goals, 6. So they really haven't hurt Sydney on the scoreboard.
They're going to go in again here. Or will they? Sewell's going to go back first to Ellis. He's wrapped up, but he has support. Sam Mitchell into the hole. Danger. Jack coming out. Ladson. Williams there as well. Sliding in was Roughhead, but Bevan beat him to it. Kirk, look away handball. It ends up with Moore. He goes to ground. So too Goods.
He slipped.
There's that slippery surface.
Hawthorn's still
Numbers
going,
everywhere,
though.
3 deep by themselves.
Oh, it's a goal, surely. Mitchell got it to Roughhead. Bingo! 3 to Roughhead.
Great goal, but we talked about the conditions before the game, Lynchy. We were down at ground level. You just see the look away handball. Moore goes to change direction. The handball goes down to Goods. He tries to change direction, and Hawthorn get a goal. I wonder what Paul Roos asked the boys after the game. They got the long stops on in the midfield.
If you didn't, you'd put them on quickly. But yeah, very slippery conditions in parts of the ground.
Hawthorn have kicked 13. They've got 10 from Williams, Franklin and Roughhead, and Paul Roos now, I think, resigned to a loss. It's 27 points now.
Not only has been a rout for the last 6 games, Hawthorn have been defeated by the Sydney Swans, but before last week, the Sydney Swans were in white-hot form, won 6 games on the trot in this home and away season, and looked like the powerhouse who were going to really challenge Geelong.
Mitchell stepping up here. Win a free kick, he was held on to. So Sam Mitchell will eventually find himself to the top of the disposal ladder, up to 20 now with Lance Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin just wants it one-on-one at the top of the goal square.
Williams wants it earlier, so he got out of his way. Gee, Ruffhead almost got it.
He's good, Leo Barry.
Whoops. No communication. Rioli the pickpocket. Rioli the goal kicker. Hawthorn will win this one.
Great goal from Rioli. What Rioli does, he tests your foot skills. They need to be first class coming out of the back half, because if they're not, he will swoop on any loose ball and make you pay in the highest possible way. We just see an errant handball again from Bolton. Rioli swoops on it and puts it straight over the goal umpire's hat. That's deflating.
One goal, two for Rioli this afternoon. There's just under 50,000 here at the MCG, and they're now watching Hawthorn power away. Sydney challenged. The Hawthorn outfit equal to the task. And can they move it on? Here's Goods. Guerra cutting in front with courage, takes a good mark. And he's cramping up a bit.
Yeah, and so he should be. He's spent a lot of the game on Ryan O'Keefe. It covers an enormous amount of territory, and that's a lot of courage to go back in front of a leading forward. Always a chance to get hit, but he's cramped up.
He's gone.
Well, lucky Alistair Clarkson's got with his team at the moment. You need to go, Mitchie, because there's pressure on for spots. Lewis is out with an injury at the moment.
See, the Hawks have huddled up in the centre circle of the ground, and they've broken into some space.
And here they
worked
go.
out beautifully.
Saul, Franklin, got position, got it. Now come on, Lance. Let's have a set shot goal.
Well, it was a beautifully weighted kick that put Craig Bolton in a position there he's never going to mark the ball. Lance Franklin was able to duck back into some space and just held Bolton under the ball. Took a very good mark.
Looks like Guerra's coming off the ground.
Severe cramp. Now the crowd will enjoy this. They've been willing to get one through.
Was it shot 13?
Shot 14.
14. There it is.
Yes.
You keep having shots, eventually they're going to go through the middle. Sewell's had a great comeback. Shoulder surgery 6 or 7 weeks ago. You call it, Alistair. The kick to grass there was goal side. Bolton probably did the right thing playing in front, but there wasn't a lot of pressure on the kicker. It just gives Sewell enough opportunity to have a look and see where Bolton was and kick it to Lance Franklin's advantage. And he'd be wrapped that he's kicked one from a set shot, the big fella.
The Hawks are kicking away here, and there's 4 minutes remaining, and the margin's going to be a blowout.
Could have been a bigger blowout. That man, 21 disposals. Most of them have been in the forward 50. 4 goals, 7. But forwards and defenders, you like to protect the space, and on that occasion, Lance Franklin did, and he was honoured by a very smart kick.
Nice give on the up from Kirk to Bird. O'Keefe has worn Guerra into the ground. He's gone off. O'Loughlin.
I would think be just outside his range, Mickey O'Loughlin.
Yeah.
Have to kick from about 53, 54 metres.
Giving it a ride. It's going to be tight. It's going to be through. Alistair. That little rest gave him enough to bang it through.
Very good kick from just outside 50. I didn't think he had it. He had the extra metre or two, and that was a nice lead. But the game's well and truly over here. It's been a very good contest for most part. 2 teams that are up in that top 4 of the AFL and will be serious contenders come September. And Mickey O'Loughlin is such an important player, and he's shown some good signs today. I mean, big mark shows that a man who's pushing towards the end of his career, he might have a bit to go yet.
O'Loughlin, goal number 2, goal number 497 in his stellar career. Could have had 3, but had to go off and gave one to Buchanan. From the centre again, Tuck. High, very high. Roughhead just pushed his opponent away, then gets a horrible bounce. Ablett's worked hard, in close. He's holding the ball.
Well, it's dropping the ball. He took the Hawthorn runners on.
Yeah, he got around the first tackler and was held up in the second.
Messy handball from Ladson, puts Hodge under pressure.
How's the kick?
How's that for a kick-off balance?
That was unbelievable. He had a look inside. There was no one on. And then he waited till Ablett got near him. He saw Roughhead leading and then just put it on his boot with an enormous amount of pressure.
What will Roughhead do? He's gone. Well, he's kicked it inside-out screw punt to no one in particular. Spoil lands with more. Playfair a long way from centre-half forward.
Got it there, Grant. Thanks, mate.
He's not sure what to do.
Move it on. Stay up, Michael.
And he's going to switch.
Thank you.
Now, Roberts Thompson's just come off the bench, so he should get it next.
Oh, there, Willow.
Nick Smith could have been the next man in the chain, but not sure where to go. But so Roberts Thompson heads in the O'Keefe direction. He went very early. Brown and Bolton, and we've got a boundary throw in. 2 minutes remaining. Hawks will continue their wonderful season.
The scoreboard is where it should be now, though. Early on, when you have a look at the inside 50s, 58 to 42, that normally equates to a 6 to 7 goal victory.
Kirk, it's one extra for Sydney. 2 on 1 here for Hawthorn. It's out.
With those players out of the side for the Hawks, geez, they look good in the lead up to September. They can have a little luck with injuries over the next month or so.
There's now a huge break, isn't there? Top 3. A huge break on Sydney, and Collingwood are pressing. But the great thing is we've got the top 3 playing each other over the next couple of weeks. Geelong playing the Bulldogs and Hawthorn.
The Western Bulldogs, Geelong next week is going to be a
Massive.
great game.
Here's McVeigh. From just inside 50, we're right behind him, and it's bending, and it hits the post. We've had a few posters today. So McVeigh's day, 18 disposals, 1 goal, 1, and Hawthorn really taking their time now. They know they've got it won. And they'll just play out a bit of time here as Ellis gets on the end of the kick.
Just a hole in the zone there for the Swans. There's no one deep on this flank.
Big leap over the top, and spoil came from Ablett. Unkind bounce from McVeigh, out of bounds.
We might head down to Lee Colbert. Ty Connelly, is he done for the day, Colby?
Yes, mate, he's cooked. He's done his job. He's poor bugger. He's had shoulders popped out all day. And Shane Crawford, he's gone as well. So both the old timers put the cue in the rack.
Ground commentator Lee Colbert.
Just showing a little bit of his Bendigo wares there.
Oh dear.
Play on.
Hodge. Good give to Ellis, and he's trying to keep that in, but it's blowing away for him, and it's out of bounds.
Might get this one, Colby. The future West Coast Eagles assistant coach.
And there he is, just in the background.
You're a flog.
Give it on! Play on!
So Smith, well, he's not sure where to go. Right, run himself into trouble. He got away from Osborne. Bird. Playfair with Murphy. Playfair did well to get it to Matner. Sydney get one more before the end of the game. Chain of handballs. Ends up with Jared Moore. And he missed one early in the game, and he hasn't straightened up. 31 points is the margin.
Let him run.
And Zach Williams, he was camped out at full forward for the most part of this last term. Been a very dangerous forward. Just complements the other key forwards in the game for Hawthorn.
Somehow it ends up back with Kirk. Out to O'Loughlin. Siren beats him. It would have been a goal, but it would have been purely academic because Hawthorn have broken their hoodoo against Sydney. Their first win against the Swans since round 19, 2003. And that year they won twice, but it's been a big victory for them, and they are solid inside the top three.
Great win for the Hawks. Great for their mindset. Sydney have had the wood over Hawthorn the last 6 times they've played. That will do wonders for their confidence leading into the finals. They desperately wanted this scalp over a team that you have to play good football to beat. And Lance Franklin kicking 4-7. Mark Williams was terrific 4-1. We see Silrioli there. He kicked a goal. The 4 forwards kicked 12 between them, and that's the options they've got, Alistair.
I mean, that's fantastic options to have that combination, and we saw it in the last quarter. They were just happy to work the matchups, and they put Williams to full forward. Shane Crawford, Sewell. Crawford looks like he's a little bit sore, so it'll be interesting to see how he comes up after the game. Mark Williams, important player. Silrioli, but it's in his pace and tackling pressure was indicative of the Hawthorn team across the day. It was a high-intensity game, a few mistakes out there, but great to see 2 highly ranked teams go at it head-to-head.
Well, it's been a big win for Hawthorn. They were kept to 283 disposals, but they managed 15-16 on the board, so they were highly effective this afternoon, and they always showed courage. None more than Campbell Brown. Here he is with Lee Coleman.
Mate, that was a tough game. They were pretty physical all day, and they just kept coming.
Yeah, that's exactly how they play. We knew they were going to come out that way, and we had to try and match them for as long as possible. So, full credit to the boys today. Fantastic win.
Great to overcome them finally, because it's been a little while since the Hawks have beaten the Sydney Swans.
Yeah, it's been about 5 years. We haven't won since Clarko's been coach, so he'll be wrapped. They put a lot of homework into it, and like I said before, we knew it was going to be tough, and terrific win.
31 scoring shots is pleasing. You couldn't get down there and help Buddy kick a little bit straighter though, mate.
Yeah, look, he had one of those days, but he was sensational. He created a few with his contests, and it was pretty windy out there, so I'm sure he'll be doing a bit of practice during the week.
As a good backman, mate, you're always looking after the forwards. Well done. Go enjoy the win.
Every time I touch the ball today, I stuffed it up, so thanks, mate. Thank you.
He's a terrific man, isn't he? He's a great guy, and also he made a couple of blues, but gee, he did some fantastic work, tackling, spoiling, and some typical Campbell Brown courageous efforts.
He's the type of player, Lynchy, when you're running out, if you knew you had Campbell Brown riding beside you, you think, well, we're going to have a bit of a go today.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game, and he plays the game at a very high standard, as many of his teammates do.
Well, Hawthorn, they've got a big game next week. They take on St Kilda on Saturday night at the Telstra Dome. They continue on their winning way. A very polished performance this afternoon. We shall take a break from the MCG. Hawthorn, the victors, by 31 points.